All right, morning team. morning. Hope you're good. Hope everyone's doing good. Hope you survived while I was away. Nothing's really changed. Nothing has really changed here. We're in the same market we've been in since before we left. All right, just very, very clear, building out a giant wedge here at the top. All right, trying to build out a huge node on the 2026 calendar. All right, and we're fitting all the way down to here. All right, and we are in a rotation within this value that we've created since the beginning of May. So May, June, July, we're now in rotation and we're starting to coil and get tighter. So the question is, which way are we going to break and how? All right, there isn't a whole lot of edge here at the moment. We're trading towards the bottom side of this wedge. We're right at point of control from early May and at the 50-day. So I'd be very, very cautious about looking for continued downside pressure. Every time we've done that, we found a bid and found a bid. Same as they look for a breakout, we pull back in. All right, so edges remain your friend until proven otherwise. Now, when will that change? Probably when we get sector alignment. All right, so if we see this, maybe we'll get some sector alignment down there and then retest these lows. We can make this decision. Until then, probably trying to see if we reclaim and go back inside. All right, and we are seeing non-sector alignment. We continue to see the rotation trade that I've talked about a lot. Okay, so MAG continues to be bid. We're seeing weakness coming in semiconductors and software. Again, bid out last night, putting in a new high for quite a while here, for as long as I can see, back till June. So about a month high, which is fantastic for some of those swings that we're in on the channel. Okay, so let's break this down on the hourlies. All right, zoom this out. So current week, you can see us since the Sunday open. We're now underneath current week's value. We're underneath previous day's value. We're opening up near previous week's values. This is all going to be about, can that be right? Yeah, it's right. Okay. This is all going to be about what we're able to do here. If we start losing the bid at previous week's value, that would be the first sign of some weakness. This would be in the newsletter, no doubt. All right. So if we come back down and fail to reclaim value, then we can start thinking about some of these rotations lower towards 300s and maybe even down here towards the 150s. Okay. So this is all going to be about value today. Right? Are we going to reject value and look for lower prices, or is this just going to be a rebid from an area that bulls came in last Thursday and we bid out of, and this is the first sort of retest of that area? So if we do bid out of here, or we fail to break under and we reclaim value, we can look for the bid back up to yesterday's value. All right, so there's a couple hundred points in here for grabs here and here. This is the sensitive area where we're going to make that decision. If we find that bid up to value, all right, then I would expect sellers to try and apply pressure here and do us a little ping pong between these two. If they're unable to do that and we reclaim, then obviously we're going to go point of control on 30,000 again, and this sort of same move as here might happen. So that's what we're looking at today. We've got to be very, very cautious because we know from looking left, all right, this is not a nice area to trade in. All right, if you look for continuation before it's ready, right, this is what happens in this area, right? Okay, this is not particularly nice to look at. All right, very, very easy to get hurt in here. So what you need to be thinking about is very simple, isn't it? Watch the edges, all right, see money, take money. We're not looking for big continuation trades and trend trades until we leave this area. When we look at GEX, all right, we are under pressure here. Right, we're not above that neutral zone, which is right up at these point of controls up here. We're nowhere near that. In fact, we're underneath the first big pit bull on the Qs. So I'm interested to see, are we able to retest this in the New York session? If we are able to retest that and we've actually flipped that and sellers remain heavy here, then, you know, there is a trade from sort of 800s back down towards 600. That's our first 200-point trade. So if they rotate this early morning and sell this, that's your 200-pointer. And if they want to resell this and come back down towards this pivot, then we're going to get another 200 points under here. So there's actually 400 points up for grab if they give follow through today. We're just going to have to see what they want to give. And we're not in alignment there for everything else, which I'm going to go through now. All right, so let's move this to a 5-minute. You can see ES. All right, relative strength here on ESY because we're starting to bid, no doubt. Outside of tech, we're starting to look at healthcare again and finances, which is why I've been long in these. If you're wondering why tech sold off overnight as well, it's because Samsung had bad earnings last night, so the COPSI got hit. So now we're worried about all these, you know, big chip names which have been bid up. That's why, sorry, the chips, if I said software, that's why the chips got hit. Okay, so we're coming back up in this rotation. Here's a rotation. Push back up yesterday, sold back off overnight. Can they perform a higher low and keep going to the upside here? We do have relative strength here. There's no doubt about it. And we have now flipped this. In fact, we can just remove that altogether and pull it down a bit. Right, so I'll be watching if ES holds the bid today or if there's going to be failed follow through. If the ES is able to hold the bid here, right into 575, 570s, you're looking for that move. Right, if they fail to get back above 55s, then maybe downside pressure. But this becomes key here, right? Are they able to complete this move, or is downside pressure back into range going to happen? We're about to find out. Spiders, where are you? All right, same story on the spiders. It looks a bit more like failed follow through versus yesterday's session. So I'd be very careful about that actually. In the cash market. So I'd say if cash fails to get through 51s convincingly, then you're building out liquidity probably for a move back down to 45s. Okay. If you get back above 51s, that's where strength can come back in because that would be a pre-market high and then we can attack yesterday's high. So I'd be using that as a pretty good indication of an under over, right, up here into 51s, right? Do you see downside pressure or is it a full reclaim and go? Again, it's going to depend on the sectors, what they want to do. Qs, we have relative weakness. There you go. So big gap down in Qs. Not able to hold this pivot right now, which is now quite clearly flipped. And we can actually move this one up. Okay, so very simple, isn't it? All right, are they going to bid out of here from last Thursday? All right, are they going to bid out? Or are we going to see a move this morning up into sort of 720s, be sold back into for this rotation down? And that's what I'd like to see, actually. This gives us a little bit of room either side to play with. Again, it's going to depend on the sectors, and we can go through those very, very shortly. First thing I just want to look at, VIX continues to sort of drip down under the 16s now. So if this continues to drip down here, very, very bullish for the ES. If we reclaim this, maybe we come and retest 17, we're going to go back into range on the ES if we do that. So worth watching this blue box as an under over right now. Okay, sectors, right, semis, like I said, off that Samsung earnings, getting absolutely slapped. Think about this, we were at 300 not that long ago. We're now at 168. Funny how things change, right? How quickly things change. If we zoom out, right, this is the 50% pullback that we talked about really since we started this move. If we get to a daily here, right, we're just at that sort of 50% range, which they continue to find a bid at. Which is important to stay zoomed out and remember where we are. Okay, we're coming right into that 50% range. So if we lose this, then we can think about the fib pullback for a bit deeper. But at the moment, it's just a measured pullback. But there is definite weakness coming to this sector. It really depends whether they want to hold, right? Do they want to hold the edge of this range and bid back up, right? Are we going to hold this block here? And are they looking to bid back up off the 50%? Or are we thinking we're coming down to a 161, right? This is really it's just all going to be on earnings. My whole thought was this was going to be on earnings. They've got an early look at it with Samsung and they're not happy about it. So as a sector, that's weak. Software, strong, right? Strong off that news. As we sell into semis, we are bidding back software, right? This is exactly what we expected about. Nice breakout yesterday. Hopefully some of you caught that on software. Nice gap up. And where are we going to go? Well, we've got lots of room, folks. We've got lots of room to get right back up to here. All right, so we'll see. They've now held. There's your W. They've pulled back and held. Can they get back into these 107s is the question mark. Are we going to start bidding software into a sensitive area here for now? And the other ones we can have a quick look at if we can find it just to check. Yes, okay, XLS. So finance is breaking out. That's the strength in ES. And healthcare as well breaking out. So there we go. There's the sector rotation into those sort of more defensive names, which we're long in, which is great. Fantastic. We're long in all of these. All right, mag time. All right, Apple holding up very well here. It's a great recovery. So clearly that was way oversold on those price increases, and we've just like ripped back to the upside. That all-time highs was very close. Very close to all-time highs. Looks very bullish there for Apple. Good move. Amazon, right, trying to get going with software, gapping up there. So, the real question is, can Amazon now hold this? Right, it's trying to pre-market to get going and stay above this range. As long as we stay above the 50% mark, I'd say sort of 43s, it's pretty good. But ideally, 45s and up would be good for Amazon. I'm going to have to get a move on here, aren't I? Google, another gap up. Okay, again, software. You'd like Google to hold its close price there, but if it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. It might want to come back in. Unfortunately, I missed this bid down here, which is what I was waiting for from going away, but we'll see. See if we can get re-involved on a pullback to 360s here. Meta starting to recover as well. All right, this is looking pretty good. It's where it failed from last time. So this is your over-under as we start to come into 10s. All right, so if it can reclaim 10s, it's got this sort of inverted head and shoulders look. Otherwise, this can be a pullback into failure point. Just be aware of that if you're a long Meta. Microsoft, big one here, starting to really get going. This is the one that we're sized into. All right, I'd love this to start moving with software now. Can we start getting back up to here with software? It's relative weakness. Remember, software is like around here right now. We'd like this to start going. We might need an undercut. That's the one thing I wonder. Do we need to undercut first? But hopefully we can get going there. In Softy, Nvidia, as expected, weak with its sector. All right, getting hammered here to the underside. Let's just zoom this out. Yeah, it looks terrible. It looks terrible. So an undercut would be 190 here. So any rejection of 194 will be pressure for an undercut there. Tesla trying to recover. Don't know what happened there last Thursday, but a big sell-off, trying to recover back into where these players are trapped. I wouldn't want to be buying that into the sacred number 420s, right? It's right back into it. That's its over-under. It always is. Look at that. It's just how it operates. Don't ask me why. I couldn't tell you, but that's what's happening. All right, back to NQ. Let's get ourselves ready. Did I leave my drink next door? Nightmare. I'm going to have to wait now until after the open. All right, so we'll see if we see sell side pressure here at that sort of 640, 650, otherwise 840, 850. All right, so we'll see how they open up this morning with all the sectors, if we get some alignment or not. Are they going to bid semis out of this little hole that they're in? Yes, we do have space extra in Nasdaq today. I know. I'm really interested if we can come up here. That would give the better trade opportunity. I'm going to trade like 5-10 minutes and then I'm going to grab my coffee from next door. Unless my wife wakes up, which would help. Hope you're all good. Hope you traded well without me. Nice and easy today, folks. 3 seconds. Here we go. Big flush down and absorption off that low straight away to start the day. So Semi's trying to find a bid in this old block. Semi's really, we want to watch 180 if we can lift up there, see how we act. Software coming back in a little bit. Okay, here we go. So reclaim the previous week's value. So if they can hold a bid here, there is a seller caught at the low. Maybe we see this move here. There was a small seller caught at the low. Again, this is going to be our over-under today. It's sort of 645-ish. I'd love it to come up here. It's going to give the better trade. Much easier trade if we could come up there away from this blue box. Don't really want to be playing around this blue box short side. So let's see how we operate here. I might give it a couple minutes to shake out here before I make a decision, especially as I haven't watched the market yesterday, just so I get a feel for it. No trades today. Yesterday, messy tape. Might be the same today. We'll see. Right, losing that previous week's value. So some pressure there. There was a seller up there. Back down to current day's value. Already looks pretty choppy this morning. This 600 whole number. They're trying to hold the bid here to get up to this at the moment. It's very choppy on the tape already. Semis pressure at 170 at the moment. They can't get up to the 180s. I'm interested in sells, but not here. Much more interested in sells up here. So just waiting to see if this shakes out. If they lose the bid here, then we can think about it. But I think they might want to hold this and shove it up into this. Should be a much better move for it. We do have previous day low here at 82s, 83. So it's worth watching that. If they keep rejecting that, that's a daily rejection. If they reclaim that, then we're going to go inside bar. So just remember that. This is really about whether we stay outside bar. Outside bar would be a rejection of this. Inside bar would be a reclaim of that for daily. More sellers here again at the moment. They are trying to pile in here. 600 has a 900 lot bidder on it at the moment, folks. Let's see if we trade through that. Like I said, I can feel weakness a little bit here, but it's not ideal. Huge seller coming in here, piling in at the lows. All right, let's see how they operate here. If they absorb him and then reject. Definitely trying to force an outside bar here. Yeah, they are. Okay, I'm going to watch this huge seller that was at 600, see it as an over-under, losing New York now, see if we can get short, if we're going to stay heavy now. If we've rejected value, we've rejected previous day low, if we're going to stay heavy around 600, I'm interested in a short. If we reclaim that, obviously I'm not. I'm going to wait for this to pop up to 600 and make a decision as it comes back in. which it's about to do now. If it reclaims it, then there's no sell opportunity. Here we go. There's first pop in. There's a bidder here at 75. I've put a small piece on short here. Let's see if we can sell through now. Here we go. Lovely. I'm just working my way back into this gently today. 550, there's a bid, a huge bid at 540s as well. So a short versus 600, small size. See if we can walk this down a little bit. Lots of bids down here, folks. Yeah, strong rejection, semis, big rejection, new lows. These are breaking lower. We look good. We're well set here. Looks really good. All right, covering a little bit into this 900 lot at 540. We're selling through 540s now. 900 lot refresh buyer there. Through we go. Nice. See if we can move down a bit further here and start to really crack this wedge potentially. And we can potentially target the 300s here, right the way down. Here we go, folks. It's a big bleed this morning. We would like to stay heavy versus 540 now, okay? We had another 900 lot seller step in there. So we are bleeding, bleeding, bleeding. I'm expecting a bid, so I'm moving my stop down, protecting my profits so far this morning. So 540 is an over-under. If we reclaim that, we can go straight to 590. I'll cut and then look to re-add a new position up there. 540 is key. All right, cut this out now. So I'm done with this, and I'll look to add on a pop if we can get back above, or if we just trap. I'm expecting some relief. This 540 is massive. There's the flush. Just stopped Alex out to reflush. Lovely. I think we can get down to 425s here if I can get back involved. If they want to pop 540 and fail again. Yeah, Mag's 0.5% up. Software is not looking that good actually, mate. It's pulling back pretty hard off 5-day. So we've got to see how it operates around the 95 mark for IGV. Oh, come on, get me back in this if you're going to bleed, please, you bastard. So this is the next target, this box down here and then all the way down here. Now I'm not in it, need a pop. Still they're bidding 500, that whole number. You got to pop up for me, buddy. You got to pop up for me. I can't get back in this now. So through 540, we can come and test 600. So again, I'm flat at the moment. Will they come up towards 600 and then resell it? Software trying to find a bid in front of yesterday's initial balance at the moment. We're still getting stuck at 540 here. I'm waiting to see if we come up towards 600. Let's put volume on. Alex forgot, didn't he? What an idiot. Sorry, folks. There we go. Looks a bit shite. What's going on here? All right, still stuck at these 540s. Can we lift towards 600 and make a decision? Remember, we can still undercut and come back inside. It's got to be very careful looking for a continuation. We remain in a see money, take money environment. We remain in see money, take money environments. Why I would have preferred us to come up here before we sell this morning. All right, here's the lift towards 600s. I'm still waiting for a new position here. Lots of liquidity to be filled up here if they can lift a bit and then make a decision. And we'd need ES also to sort of stay heavy under New York Open. QQQ bidding off its 50-day at the moment. Semis coming back up for that 170 test. So they've caught a bit of a bid here, the 70s, the semis. I'm still waiting for us to lift towards 600, make a decision. Remember, if we go reclaim here, this would be a look below, right, and fail. And if they reclaim this, that would be a look below daily and fail, and we can come back up here. Don't rule that trade out, all right? I'm heavy versus 600. I want to stay heavy versus 600, but what I'm saying is if we reclaim, do not fight the tape on a reclaim. All right, more sellers piling in here at 540. They're not really getting their way right now. We need to break lower here. Okay, starting to get involved versus 540 now. Can we see continued pressure downside? We need to make a new low here. There's last seller was caught at 515s to the low side. So we've got to get undervalue for the day. Lots of liquidity down at 500 to fill. We're going to try and break for 500 here by the looks of it and see if we can trade through that towards the 420s. Here we go. Is the break for 500. Big seller at this low. Next level was 85 on the tape. They can bid this. Be careful. They're starting to hold this. We want to see a break lower here. You want to pay yourself a bit here. Then we can start targeting these 300s. We might need to build liquidity out for a bit here by the looks of it on the tape. Okay, so back towards 540s. You need 540s to stay heavy, to stay in this position now. Here's the bid back towards 540s. Again, they can reclaim very quick here. They're trying to force this bid. Here to go through the 540s. So I'd be out of this now, and they can retest 600s if they want. They've got to build liquidity out here, no doubt about it. They need to build some liquidity. $500s put support. I don't have that. I have 420s put support, unless they changed it and they haven't redone it. Maybe you're right. Let's just have a quick look on Tanuki. If this needs a manual update, about to find out. No, doesn't look like it. A little bit lower, 460 to 420 looks like the main put support. All right, back to the New York Opens. This is the 600 again. Where I'd be very careful where they can start causing a squeeze is a strong bid over 650 and certainly over 688, which would be previous day's low. So this is a liquidity build out in here for now. All right, and they start to reclaim this, this becomes very, very possible. Until then, they're heavy versus this. This is a 600 test that we've talked about a few times. There is huge selling down at 540s now, and we are above that. It's worth remembering that all the time we're above that, you have big sellers at the lows caught. Semi's coming back up for that 170 mark. Software held that bid that we talked about into 95s. Big buyer getting caught up here into 580 for now. So 600 to 540 is your rotation currently. Yeah, the Kospi got smacked. Like I said, it was all off the Samsung earnings. That's why we're seeing a bleed in semiconductors. So 540, 600 rotation. If they hold the bid at 540, so they try and cause a squeeze. If they come back up that under that, then they've got room for downside pressure. And we probably just going to get rid of this blue box if it will let me. Move that a moment. Okay, back to 540, so 540, 600 rotation still taking place. They are trying to absorb down here, not doing a very good job, but they're trying, these buyers, to absorb the tape. ES back through VWAP, or New York VWAP. I wonder if they're going to trigger a little long squeeze up here. They're trying to absorb 540s to move higher. They just can't get through that New York Open, this blue line. So it's 540s to 600. That's where we're stuck. Same level as where the big players are. No big surprise there. No more shorts here for me now. Not for now. We're stuck at 540s. I'd much rather short up here, if I'm honest. So we just let this build out. $600 rejection again. They're really trying to lift this at the moment. They're not able to. I'm kind of surprised that they haven't just come right up here. They're trying. Here they come, and rejected hard up there again on 600. I'm really surprised they haven't been able to, because ES is lifting pretty well. Semis are at 170s. So while this builds out, I'm just going to grab my coffee quickly. Be right back. All right, there we go. Sorry, folks. And my morning coffee. I need it. I need it. All right, remaining in that rotation, 540 to 600. Just got to be patient here. Lots of buyers coming in here. What they're trying to do is get back through value. All right, so we have sellers currently caught a huge seller call down here. How do we do our old bubbles? See if Alex can remember. All right, there's a big seller call down here. And then a few little guys caught at the lows. No, don't do that. I need him. Right, and a few smaller guys caught down here. When I say smaller, like 100 lots. All right, so this guy at 540 has become the pivot. And buyers are now trying to support that. They're being a little aggressive up here, if I'm honest. But they are trying, right, to come in here and force the bid up. Right, so 540, 600 remains the rotation. Now, if buyers do get their way and they leave these sellers stuck, they will need to get over the New York Open, back over value, and over previous day's low. And if they do that, this becomes viable. Until then, you'd have to argue sellers higher time frame have a degree of control. It's just the lower time frame sellers at the lows are a little bit stuck right now. All right, so back towards these 540s again. Right, ES looking a bit healthier. Starting to hold its VWAPs now. Still under New York Open. Q's rejecting VWAPs. Big seller coming in here at 50 now. So he's trying to force that 540 break to break lower. Still being absorbed down here for now. Point of control now, 540 as well. So it's the biggest level traded today. You can see there's lots of bids on the tape here. So let's see if they're going to break through them again. If we start seeing heaviness under 40s, I want to get short. Right, if we start seeing like constant rejection of 40s, I want to get short. Until then, I don't really want to play anything. So here's the pop to 40 and sell and hold at 30s now. So there's a lot of rotation here. Sellers are at 60s. So I wouldn't mind getting short if they pop and sell here, not beforehand. Don't fancy getting caught in a chop fest down here. Here's the lift towards 40s. Can they come a bit higher? Here's the first sign of a seller trying to come in. Looks like we're going to squeeze up to 65 at the moment. There we go. 40s, do they want 65s? I'll be very patient here. It looks like bid's trying to lift it a bit. All right, small piece on. Very, very, very small. This is very hard. And out at 60 straight away. But those sellers have come back in at 50s now. Like to defend 40s. I'm going to give it 20 points of wiggle and see if we can make a new low of day here. And we're going to make this very hard, clearly. There's my stop. I thought they were going to do that squeeze first time. They didn't do it. So I thought, okay, well, I'm coming in. Gotta laugh. You gotta laugh in this chop suey. All right, well, they should go 600s now. If they're going to do this, they might as well go 600s. 600 lot seller. Just come on the tape out of the blue. Oh, God, the whip. The whip. That whip up there at 75 as soon as he jumped on the tape. Jeez Louise. Semis look very weak here, back towards lower day. Software back in, well, at previous day's close, near it. If these start to bleed together, we go into alignment for the day. This is the question here. I want to get short in this. It's just stopped me out into that 600. This is going to make it very hard. We're under 540. We're seeing pressure. I do want to get sell side here for a drive lower. To cut, there's 1,000 lot at 490. We're going to clearly trying to get down to. And let's see if we can grab some here on a pop towards 520 to 540, please, before you break the lows. Please, market, please, before you break the lows. Come on. I'm watching 20 to 40s to a sell. That's the 20 pop. Can we come a bit higher? Oof. Oof. Can you come up to 40s for me? Make a decision there. Yeah, okay. Tiny piece on there at 40s. All right, looking for a new low day here. Come and clean out all this liquidity towards 480s. Come on. Just do the fucking move, and then we can go 400 and 300s. 420 and 300s is possible. Come on. Complete the auction, please. Come on. Just looking for a low day here, if possible. Come on. Oh, God, it's like last week. Come on. More sellers here getting absorbed. That whole number, 500, is the problem. Once we get through that, we probably see a little bit of a wash. I want to take some off straight away if we can get through that. If we reclaim 540s, I'm out. It's very hard trade, this. Just trying to play what's in front of me on the tape. They're making it very hard. Come on. There's another clear rejection in front of 540s. They couldn't even get there this time. Come on, please. Clean out these lows, for goodness sake. 500 being bid here again. They're trying to absorb. 500 to 470 is the level. Here we go. Ready to take some off here into the low. Don't be a dick. Here we go. Beautiful. Okay, let's see if we can start really washing now. We're starting to get alignment here now. Now, semis are bleeding into a new low of day. IGV has closed its gap. It might bid out of this, so you want to be covering a good chunk here, folks. And again, 540s is our over-under. All right. Seller trying to walk down here into 510s. I'm not convinced by that. Not much size. So if they reclaim 540s, you want to be done with it. Be a failed look below. See the pressure coming in there. It's a big level. There we go. Very, very accurate level. That is all because of that seller, this guy here. It's all about this guy here. Is he going to stay in the money? That's why 540s is very, very key here. If you reclaim 540s, you do not want to be short in this anymore. All right. Otherwise, you can sit in it. IGV about to go green to red, which will help this trade as well if we can stay heavy. Come on, baby. Right into the low of the opening range here as well, so just be aware of that. You should have locked some in here either way. Come on, can you bleed more for us? Do you fancy a bit more? I reckon we can come much lower here today. We go in alignment. Come on, baby. Come on. Bleed. 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 Yeah, beautiful. More, please. More, please. So 1,000 lot at 450. Can we go and fill him? Here come the sellers. All right. Careful at 450. I want to see if this guy's real. Probably going to get front running into this liquidity here. There's 1,000 lot down there at 450. So you can peel a bit more off here. This is the grey box. This is where we thought we'd come. Now 420 is a big level. So 460 now we're through. 450 bid just got pulled. Be aware of that. So we've got a spoofer down there. 500 retest, very possible here. And then our next target is 420. Is what we talked about today. If we were going to see continuation, we can think about this breakdown. 420 all the way down to 300s today if we're going to stay heavy. But grey box is a good covering point here for some. Beautiful. Here's 450. There's no bid there now. We pulled it all. So the 1,000 lot isn't there. And IGV has gone green to red. This is helping us. Looks really good here. Just want all pops to fail. This thing's getting absolutely slammed. ES now really starting to get hammered and close its gap as well. So we want to be careful here. ES is likely to find a bid around 63s or front run into 63s. So make sure you paid yourself here some, because the other sectors might start to bid up from these zones. All right. So if IGV goes back red to green, or might be a little undercut and go back up. And same in ES. If it closes its gap, and there you go, it's front running on the gap fill there on ES. So just be very smart here. Make sure you've paid yourself some in this grey box. We know these are the put walls. All right, these are the actual put walls. Someone said it's 500, and I was like, I don't have one there, but I do have one here. And we're starting to see some of the bids start to occur down here. Now, I think we can get down here if we start to lose all this. Maybe we need to see this be built out and this move. Yeah, Soxal's getting absolutely slammed, mate. It's getting absolutely slammed for good reason as well. All right, Samsung with a big miss over in the Asia session. So now they're worried. They're like, hang on, if someone in this sector is getting fucked, what's going to happen in our earnings? What did I say when I felt like we'd stay in this wedge until we get to earnings? Well, we're starting to see early reads, which is why you're seeing pressure. My voice is lower today. Well, I've been screaming non-stop, screaming Wonderwall at the top of my fucking lungs. And every other chant going, which are probably not all repeatable on here, unfortunately. we see these levels now if they're protected on pops. The game was unreal. It was honestly one of the best days of my life. Incredible game. Very hostile inside of the stadium, but beautiful outside of the stadium. Very welcoming. Amazing after the game, but during the game, very hostile. It made it even more fun. And just amazing fans. Mexican fans were incredible. Made it tough for us in a good way. And then gave us a guard of honor as we left, and then a fiesta until 5 a.m. in the morning. It was just incredible. I've never seen anything like it. I would say best fans in the world, the Mexican fans. Just no better fan than the Mexican fan. They were absolutely incredible. All right, so we might come and back test here towards 500. We're finding a bid in these put levels here, so you've got to be covering some here. We're starting to get a bit tight and coiled here. Wouldn't be surprised to see some relief towards 500 coming, and then we'll make a decision. Like I said, I think ES starting to find a bit of a bid inside of PDC. So I'd say 490, 500 retest probably coming up here. And then we can see if they fail there. If some big buyers come in and get stuck there, we can think about a reshort. All right, somewhere up here. So if we build this out, we can think about this move. And if they recover that, it'll be a look below value and fail, and we go rotation again. I'm waiting to see if we can come up here and make a decision at the moment. Please don't take me home. That's why my voice is fucked. I want to stay here, drink all the beer. Oh! All right, here we go. 400. I've not got any more size on here. Here comes the lift towards 400. 500, sorry. I'm not out, no. I've got a tiny piece left. We reclaim that, I'll be out. But all my size is gone. So if we come up here and fail, I'm going to look to add some size back on. But if we reclaim 500s, I'm done with it. Sellers coming back in here. I want to see it. Want to see 500 be tested ideally, or 490. And that pop might have been enough. I didn't get any on there, unfortunately. It wasn't quite high enough for me. So I'm still holding a little bit. Still think we can break down lower here. I'm just trying to be cautious and wait for the drive a little bit higher before I think about putting any more size on. God, my throat. I'm so sorry, folks. Seller's starting to get absorbed, I'd say 430s. So I'm waiting for a 490, 500 check to decide whether I cut it or put some more size on up here. So there's liquidity up here. Remember, 540 is the big level. We don't want to get anywhere near that again. That would. ES did close its gap and is finding a bid. IGV can go red to green here. So this is the big test here. This really matters now. Of course, my aircons come on as soon as this happens. So wait and see if buyers here get stuck and we start to sell back down towards the lows. And if that's not the case, then we're done with this trade. So we want this volume, low volume node to be protected, basically. I'm looking to add here, if possible, if they pop and fail, which we're starting to see sellers get aggressive here. Okay, can we get involved in this now for some ads? Take me home. Failure to make a high there. Aircon's on, it's breathing. Come on, higher, 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 and then fail. Trap these buyers. In you come. Another fail break there. It's getting very tight here on the tape. Waiting to see if we can just lift to 500 and then fail. Just a little fail break. It's getting so tight. Sellers coming in at 480s. Here's the 500. Right, I want this to fail now and to come back down. It's very important. Otherwise, we're done with it. Nice from sellers. Beautiful. All right, a little ad there for me. And we'll see if we can bleed back down. We've got to come under 73s here to start bleeding. It's a very important level, these 73s. Yes. Come on. Back down we go. As Alex just read you like a fucking kipper. Thank you, son. All right. Beautiful. I'm moving my stop in towards 70. Where's that buyer? 79s. And we'll see if we can break lower. You can peel some off here into this pivot. I'm moving my stop down. I'm going to turn this aircon off. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. That was a nice one. Right, peeled a little bit off there. I don't want this to reclaim 79s. All right, you can call it 80s if you want. It's where the buyer got a little bit caught there, so we need him to stay stuck. Otherwise, no. Get away from this. My stop is right here. Good. That's a good indication there that they want to keep that buyer at 79 stuck. All right, done with this now. Done with this now. They might lift to 540 now if they reclaim it. 500 is the level, really, but I'm trying to be tight on it because I don't want to get caught in a 50-point squeeze out. I think we are going to fail. It's just how high they want to take it first. But yes, done with it for now. For now. Semi's trying to find a bid off that put level. That's why. 160s. Still think this can move lower today. It's just how much liquidity they need to build out first. If I just got stopped for the run, maybe I can re-get in this if we start to reject again here. There's an unfinished auction here. we can start really puking. And it's really strong sign here that sellers are doing a good job, which is what we want. So these sellers are all comfortable. They've done a good job here. That came a bit higher than I would have liked. Probably should have moved my stop to that top wick where I got in, but there we go. Unfinished auction here at 40s, which we've just cleaned out. Oh, that fucking Alex trade here. Alex trade here. You absolute dick. Why did you get tight on your stop there when you're up so nice, you twat? Yes, right, PDC again. This is going to be really important. Because if we go broader sectors sell, this will move into like pro trend sell day. It's getting tight here. We don't want to get short too low here if we zoom out on the daily, but this has got, if we break, it's going to be nasty is what I'm trying to say. If we break lower, it's going to be really nasty. That's why we would have loved a short up here. Didn't give us, so we had to play here and this pop. Right, back in, if you are still in this, you cover a piece here and then you look for 300s now. Right, you look for this blue box. You cover piece here, right, this big put wall. And if you get under this put wall, you're going to look for 300s. I'm out of this, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to look for value to fail here at 60s or something to get involved. Again, 1,000 not buyer here at 400. Now, the last few times he's pulled his order, but he has been real a few times today as well. Oh, there's the fucking sell at value there at 60s. They're trying to increase value lower at the moment. Oh, I don't really fancy like selling down there at lows, even though I think it's going to move lower. It's asking for trouble, Alex. If you stay heavy versus 60s, there's an argument to break lower here. There's a 60s test right through the 60s. And now if they rebid 60s, the 540 squeeze is possible. So it means, well, I don't want to get short down here. This level up here is what's important. They're going to make this really hard with the rotations. Semi's right at that 160 level. It can't break below it yet. It's building out 15, 20 minutes of liquidities by it. So it all depends whether they want to break that. What's the next level? P2's down at 130. Fuck me. It's a long way away if it breaks. No news, mate. No news. No news today. Well, nothing scheduled. I'm sure we'd get some, but right. So if they break back above sort of 500 and hold here, you'll have a W shape. There's not that much selling at the lows. There's a little bit down at 440s, but there's no like big lots. Messy tape. Software coming back up to recheck PDC. I'm surprised they haven't cleaned out 400. Here they come. They're trying. There's 1,000 not down there at 400, so I'm surprised they haven't sort of attacked it to see if it's legit. It's getting very tight here. Back towards value at 460s we go by the looks of it. Look at this node starting to be developed here. So sellers want to defend this right now. Buyers are trying to get this move here and then see if they can get inside. Sellers are just looking for this, right? Versus this, they're looking for this. It's very tricky. We had prime position at that 500 drive and I cut it, so it's my own fault. Newsletter levels, yeah, exactly. Exactly. They're looking for that 400 test. Here it comes. Fucking hell, man. I'm absolutely devoed. I'm not in this. It'd be a 100-point trade if we got down there. Absorption down here again. Back towards value again. Man, it's tight. It's so tight down here. It is so tight down here. Yeah, starting to let go and break low under PDC. Semis are still holding the 160. That's what's holding this trade up. I wonder we'd need a 540 test before we do anything else here. Daily, very dangerous. If we look at the daily, you're right into the bottom of its range since, I don't know, 24th, 25th, 29th of June. We're right down there into that range. They want to test this 400 guy. They're desperately trying to test this 1,000 like 400. Bit salty here. A little bit salty here, folks. Yeah, and they go. Yeah, starting to let go here. Semis are breaking under 160 now. New lower day here on semis. So if they stay heavy here and we start failing, this could get very, very nasty. If we go sectors going weak, it could get nasty here. IGV desperate to hold on into that sort of pivot from yesterday morning. It looks like sector sell here, but key level. Fuck, I'm salty, man. Here comes the 400 test. And he just pulled. Pulled his order and moved to 370. So he thinks it's going lower. Yeah, he might just be a liquidity provider, but we're moving to 370s now. So here's your 400 check. Now, if you stay heavy here, I'd say if you stay heavy versus 430s, you're going to get the 300 move that we talked about. Big seller coming in here at 400. So I'd say if you stay heavy at 430s, 430-ish, you can stay in this. 430, 440, you can stay in this looking for the break towards 300. ES coming into put wall 2. That's going to look for a move to 550, I think, if they stay heavy. Seller here at lower day. Be very, very careful, folks. You need a break lower and you need it soon, and you're going to get the move to 370s. Here we go. I'm fucking salty now, Alex. That you had the trade, Alex. A bit rusty after a couple days off, maybe. All right, so we'll see if pops sell versus 430s now that we've trapped volume here. Yeah, we're letting go. 370s next. We've got multi alignment across the indices now. You don't want to short the lows though. All right, don't short the lows. You'll get caught on pops up. So I like a pop towards 430s would be ideal. Anywhere up there, it can fail in front of it. I just want some buyers to get caught. I'm going to look for a continuation. Need to be very careful. We just got to remind ourselves where we are on the daily. Be very, very careful here. Okay, we're coming right into here where we keep finding a bid. This is value from 2026. All right, we're value area high from 2026. If we see fails, this opens up. We want to be very careful in this area here. Very, very dangerous. Man, you guys look good. Fuck me. Called it and didn't take it. Well, called it and did take it and stopped out. Right, 370s pulled. Now they're looking for 350s. This thing's going to keep bleeding. Buyer coming in here at 70s. I need pops up so I can get short on failures. Like I said, ES wants 550s. It's coming for it. Massive fails on IGV as well. Everything sector-wide failing here, which is what we want for sector alignment. This is the start of demand here, this blue box, right? So you want to be covering into this blue box. And we'll see if we sell through all of it. Potentially previous week low is 273, previous week open is 282. So you can think about those as cover points if we go really weak. But I'd say anywhere in this blue box, you want to be paying yourself. No, I need some kind of buyer to try and lift this higher so I can get involved. Someone to let me in. Get me in somewhere, son. We've not finished selling here. 350 on the tape now. 1,000 lot. He's legit. They're starting to fill him. They're starting to fill this 1,000 lot. He's still there. They filled some. He's reloaded there at 350. Coming back into him again. He's legit this time. 350. Still there, 1,000 lot. He's adding. Into him again. Okay, there's 1,000 lot sell through that. Just let that sink in. We just sold over 1,000 lots at 350 now. Your covers are starting to be in this blue box, right? You've got to be paying yourself. Oh, Alex, you literally had the play of the day. Play of the day. All right, you're looking for 300s now, folks. You want 350 to stay heavy, all right? Because we just absolutely nuked in there. So I'd say if you reclaim 350, we're going to come 400, 430 pretty quick. But there's a big seller clearly willing to sell down there. Just be very, very, very careful now as you manage your position. You should just be managing runners now to see how low we can go. There we go. Beautiful. There's a 300. Cover some here. You're probably looking for previous week open, previous week low now. So you're looking for covers down to 280 to 270. 300 was our main target. You just hit it at the bottom of the blue box. Don't be a dick for a tick, right? You should be down to basically nothing. That was a 200-point move if you took the 500 move here and you didn't stop out like me, like an idiot. All right, there's your 200-point banger this morning. And we're, what, 45 minutes into the day. Beautiful. Beautiful move. This is also what we're looking for in the Discord if we broke lower today. If we broke lower today, here's the move. All right, for the break lower into here, 300. All right, if we build liquidity and break lower, we go 300. So that's what we've just hit. Low-hanging fruit's just been hit. Don't overstay your welcome. Do not overstay your welcome. That is the low-hanging fruit trade taken. Congrats, everyone. Yeah, I'm a bit rusty. Welcome back, but a little bit rusty here. All right, so you're retesting 350 here. If you have any size left at all, if you reclaim 350, you want to be done with it because you're going to get caught. If they reclaim 350, right, just think, I should probably do these for you again, shouldn't I? 350. Right, this guy's massive, 1,000 lot. All right, big boy. He's a big boy over here. All right, he's a big boy. So that's his over 350. If he stops out, you'll get this move. All right, so you want to lean on him, or you don't want to add a new position, but you want him to stay in position. Otherwise, we're going to come back up here and test. Okay, before we move lower. Yeah, SpaceX approaching its open price. Yeah. Well, again, I couldn't give a shit about that stock. Well, I don't know why people want to bid on it. I just don't understand. It loses billions of dollars a year and it's valued at trillions. I just make it make sense to me. I've talked about it a million times. Once the float becomes available, I think it probably becomes in trouble. $4K on 2 AMD puts closed. Nice work, mate. Yeah, that was the other thing I was a bit upset with myself about, is not holding XOS. Never mind. Would have been trade of the year, I think. Would have been trade of the year, but it's okay. It's funny. One of the guys I was went to football with is a works for my brain is not working. Investec, private equity management. And we were talking about the semis and with him and his mate, and I was like, well, I'm short on them at the moment. He's like, you don't think they're going to go higher? I was like, well, not right now. And they don't. It's funny, they don't do any technical analysis. So everything that they do is built based on 10, 30, 50-year portfolio, which makes total sense to me, right? It's just so funny, the different timeframes and views on it. Tanker incident in Hormuz, really? I didn't see anything flash up. Doesn't mean it's not there. I might have missed it. Oh, another incident with a tanker in the Strait of Hormuz. Let's see. Unidentified drone. Minor damage, I mean. Nothing big. All right, you're still rejecting that seller. There or thereabouts, right? So there's still a chance for this to move lower at the moment. There or thereabouts. There or thereabouts. I wanna stay here and drink all the beers. Please don't make me home. Bounce 450 to reshort. I mean, that's quite a long way away, like, to be thinking about the reshort. I would say they'd need to reject these kind of nodes in here, right? If you're up at 450, I mean, yes, but you're inside that node then. I'd say sellers would be losing impetus, right? So you want the bottom side of this to be protected to move lower, I would say. Yeah. So you don't want, if you start reclaiming 420s, the argument then is for this to come into here. So I'd say, like, you want the short needs to be in front of or at 420, right? Well, you start losing this kind of shelf, 420, 430, you get to 450s, you know, think about this, right? So we don't want that. So you want that in front of it, right? You want a confirmed lower high. So many sellers down here. There's lots of liquidity lower at 300 and under at the moment. I'd say if pops start to fail here at 350s, that you might break lower. It's fucking wild, man. They're going to let go of this whole thing today. But remember, I'd say in the next targets, if you do have anything left, 282 and 273. 273 is previous week's low. So just think about that contextually. If we start breaking down and staying heavy under 273, we have an outside bar on the weekly then, yeah? So what we have today is an outside bar on the daily. We rejected previous day's low. We rejected previous week's value area low. We're trading this week value lower than previous week's value. If we move under here, right, then we have an outside bar on the weekly. So we have an outside bar on the daily from here. If we come here, we have an outside bar on the weekly. I'm not saying we do that. I'm saying that's what's in front of us if we break lower. Yeah, there's lots of these guys starting to come in down here, folks. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of these guys like starting to sell at these lows. Be careful though, because you're not breaking lower yet. ES trying to reclaim 550s. Semi's continuing to sell. Software came down to Friday's close and found a bid. Is it Friday or Thursday? Thursday's close, sorry, and found a bid. So weekly close and found a bid for now. You look like you want previous week low here. I'm going to be honest. You look like you want 273s. Lots of bidding here at 300. You break 300, this is going 273s, I think. You can see on the tape, there's 100 lot at 300, there's another 100 lot at 95, and another 100 lot at 85. I think you want 273s here. I'm just salty, I'm not in it. I think you want previous week low here. So you want to be covering into this, and if we break this green line, it's quite faint on your screen. If we break that, it could be a big weekly shift. What will the next move be? Well, at the moment, like we talked about, you're staying heavy versus this big seller, right? You can't get back through, what was his level? 350s. 350s, right? There's no close and hold above. So you're short into here. Ideally, you want it to be short up here with me. Short into 350s. We don't really want to chase this. Short from 350s into 272s, I guess. And we make a decision after that. I have to wait now. I simply have to wait. I've missed this move. I was short here. I was pissed about with it too much. Out of practice, that couple days off the market's probably making an impact. I've made good money today, but could have made a lot more. You definitely don't want to be a new position short down here. Your previous week low is 328. Well, mine is 273. So I don't know. $273. It's quite obviously there. All right, you're almost there, folks. About to tag it, and you just tagged it. All right. So now the question is, you can see a bit of movement here. Now the question is, do we go back inside current week, previous week, or are we going to stay heavy now and continue to bleed downside? And we can think about, the newsletter levels. Really nice. So you've got to have paid yourself some here. All right, this green line, it's quite faint on your screen, but this green line here is previous week low. Right, so we've gone outside, and if they find a bid here, they're going to come and retest 330 to 350 again. I'm starting to lose interest in the short now. Not because I don't think it's great, but like I'm losing position. I just have to be honest. I'm losing position on that trade. The lower we go without building liquidity, taking more and more low-hanging fruits, the harder it is for me. Now, ES now about to take its previous week low, which is 38s, right? And there it goes. There's 38s. There's previous week low tagged. All right, so ES has done the business. Now, why are we selling here? Like I said, sector alignment. All right, we have to think about, do we get sector alignment, right? Semis weak, same streak. Sector rotation continues. Qs feel a little pressure, but still getting daily tighter. We will not get follow through unless heaviness comes under key pivots, and you likely need at least 2 sectors for alignment for that. All right. So what are we seeing? And just so that you guys understand, semiconductors. All right, getting fucking nuked. All right, getting absolutely destroyed after a gap down. So that's a gap and go to the downside, right? Gap and go. All right, so they're getting destroyed. Let's think about what happened in the other sectors. Let's go to software, all right? Gap and crap, right? Gap and crap, all right? So there's the heaviness. So that's at least 2 sector alignment. Let's go to the mags. All right, a bit more neutral. Holding close price, just about. All right, but gapped up, filled the gap. I'd say this is the pivot now for mags. It's very choppy. All right, mags, reclaim that. You find a bid back out of it. Right, what did I say? At least 2 sectors are going to need alignment, right? Likely need at least 2 sectors for alignment for that. If we will not get follow through for heaviness unless it comes under key pivots, and you'll likely need at least 2 sectors. We're watching SOXL, mags, IGV. You got IGV and SOXL, and arguably you got some mag under here. All right, so that's why you have to be understanding of what's going on, what's making the market move. Right, it will help you create thesis and understand how and why we might move. Because if today we were bid up IGV and we were gap up and hold, if we were gap and go upside IGV, gap and crap semiconductors and go nowhere mags, then we wouldn't be moving. We would not be moving. Right, back to previous week low here, and they're trying to bid on this at the moment. So they're trying to hold this green line here for a retest of 330s to 340s, and I'd say if you go over there, you likely retest for. So this line here is key. They are trying to bid previous week low to come up here. If they reclaim this, I wouldn't be surprised to see a squeeze in and fill some of this in a little bit. If they fail this, then they come back down and test. We can do this for a while, and then they can make a decision of what they're ready for. All right. I'm certainly not short down here anymore. We've done the move. I would consider a counter trend long if we start bidding above 350 and holding. How do I handle frustration? Well, I just know that another trade was set up, right? It's just one of those, like, it's not a big deal. Like, I'm up 1, 2, 3, I'm up 4,000 odd today. First day back after a holiday. Like, it's really not a big deal. It doesn't matter. The market will set up again today. It will set up again tomorrow and the next day and next week and next month and next quarter and next year. It's, you know, strikers take shots at goal. Sometimes they miss. They'll get another opportunity. Do I ever hold IGV, SOXL, MAG long term for swing? Yeah, MAG I hold long term. SOXL I do not. I was short on it for a bit. I do have a little IGV, but I'm more long in individual names there. I am long in financial sector and healthcare sector, and I have been for a month or so, right? Because that felt like a highly probable trade and hedge. I'm not huge in that, but let's see what we're up on that. Where is that position? Okay, so healthcare I'm up 9.58% on. Right, this is my swing. Will it do it? It won't do it. And that's fun, isn't it? Can't paste. Okay, well, I can't show you anymore, apparently. Well, I'm up 9.58% in healthcare. Where's my financial position? What? Where is it? It says I'm not long. I hope I didn't fucking put a sell order and get out. Did that happen last week? No, Alex, you didn't do that by accident, did you? You fucking idiot. Oh, how to piss me off. Okay, well, that's my fault. Well, I was long, and for some reason, I've put a sell order and got out, and that's not on purpose. Oh, that's very frustrating. I have to get back in that. God damn it. Never mind. Oh, that is frustrating. What an idiot. Idiot. That guy's an idiot. All right, so I'm just going to have to let this do what it is it needs to do. I can't sell down here at this point. I mean, I could sell versus 350s. I don't really fancy it at this point. I'd rather it builds out liquidity. We're going to need some kind of bull trap higher before we sell. Just think about the structure, right? We are walking this down. This was a nice build out. There was a nice trap that we took short. All right. We need to wait for the same kind of thing here. I don't want to sell previous week low at the moment. I just think it's the worst position of the week to sell. So, you know, maybe there's a counter trend long here and maybe we flip back to a sell there. So that's what I'm going to wait for at the moment. I'm going to wait for a sort of 350 test and see if they hold this and give this long, and then I'll think about the sell back down from there. That's what kind of thing I'm looking at. You can ignore the long if you want and just focus on that sell, but I might potentially do that as well. We'll see. No, I'm not going to go to Miami. I am considering getting tickets for the final. They're coming out about 12 grand a pop at the moment. I paid 2,800 Great British pounds for Mexico seats. So I don't know. See if any of the boys want to come with me to the final. It's a punt though, you know. It's a long way to go, like as in to get there. But you know, if we make it, they're not going to be 11,000 a pop. They're going to be 50 grand a pop or more, and those are shit tickets as well. Yeah, it's a lot. It was a lot of money, man. It was a lot of money. But I tell you what, is money well spent. I'll never go to. I don't think I'll ever go to a sporting event as good as that ever. That was. I'm genuinely one of the, bar my wedding, the best day of my life. It had everything, guys. I loved Mexico City anyway, so we were eating out and drinking and boozing. B, I hadn't seen some of my mates for 4 years. All right, and then the lead up, the tension was amazing. We were out the night before with the Mexico fans. They were fantastic, and Roma Norte, just like so much fun, and like hugging and singing together and banter against each other, and it was all friendly. There was no violence or anything like that. And then the lead up to the stadium, you know, that got pushed back an hour. We had to drive like 2 hours to get there, and then walk 40 minutes. And they had all the like, what would you call it? Like traditional Mexican dancing and cultural influences of their history as we walked along while it was pissing it down with rain, drinking beers, having banter. There was only 4,000 of us English in an 88,000 stadium. And we got there and it was so much banter, just sing off after sing off. And it was all done in good gesture. There was nothing bad. And then we were sat with some of the Mexican fans. It definitely got a bit tetchy. We said, there's 4 of us, we're like, we won't celebrate if we score. We won't celebrate too hard. Oh, we fucking did. We went a bit mental. It was quite hard not to. It was deafening in there. It was 158 decibel. To make that make sense, a club is about 100 decibels, like somewhere like Fabric. It was deafening. So the first goal, they kind of let us celebrate, and we scored again straight away afterwards, and we obviously went nuts. And then we had, you know, the drinks came flying. We got drenched. They were just abusing us at that point, and it got a little bit tetchy with a couple of them. We had to, you know, try and calm it down. We ended up buying a couple people around us a drink, and they bought us some drinks, and it all settled down. And then the final 10-15 minutes, we went and piled in the English section, and then yeah, just singing a night way down there. It was amazing. It was amazing. And then as we left, the fans were incredible. Guard of honor all the way out the stadium, and then they had set a huge party and fiesta at the bottom, and partied with them all night. There was, you know, other than the tense moments during the game, you know, and like there wasn't actually any violence. Like they threw drinks, okay, probably not the best. You know, they're passionate. It happens. We're making noise in there. We don't have the big enough sections. We bleed over into theirs. We're making noise. They're upset. I get it. You know, I'd probably be the same at Wembley. I'd be pissed off. But they were actually amazing, and they were just incredible. Like hugs and kissing and sharing drinks and swapping shirts with them and dancing with them. Like the absolute best fans out there. Not even close. It's not even close. You know, I walked home at like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. through the streets, which were piled full of Mexicans going crazy. And I did feel a bit tense. I was like, oh, I hope this is all right, because we're not in the stadium. Man, they were great. Danced with them, ate with them. I was all by myself. They covered me in, I don't know what it was, like a fire extinguisher. They were awesome. No complaints. Trump said the referee was suspicious. Trump doesn't watch football, so he can suck a dick. I don't really watch football, and I think this guy's good. Shut up, mate, you fucking clown. Politics doesn't belong in sport. Look, America, you got fucking beat. You're shit. You shit the bed. You're not as good as you thought you were. You had your first test against a very average Belgium team, and you fucked it. That's sport. Sorry, mate. That's sport. They already did you a favour and gave you your best player when there was no precedent to do it. It happens. You can be upset and cry. You can do the Dave Portnoy. They're just annoyed because we're Americans and we're going to win everything. And then the moment you lose, oh, we're shit. Oh, just eat it, right? Just eat it. That's sport. Don't be salty. Don't be salty. You know, I think you've had a great tournament. It's been good for the sport. It's been good for you guys. It's probably got a load more kids into it. But unfortunately, you shit the bed. When you needed to play your best game, you played your worst. That's just how it is. That's sport, man. It happens. It happens to us, the English, all the time. It happened to Brazil. They got absolutely pumped, you know. Norway just turned up. Most Americans don't care about soccer. Yeah, it's probably true. It's just like the rest of the world couldn't give a shit about American football because you can't win a world title when you're not playing against anyone else, right? Horses for courses. You can say no one gives a shit, but you know the players give a shit. They underperformed and they know it. The coach gives a shit. The staff gives a shit. How's the altitude? Well, definitely got hammered quicker than normal. Could definitely feel it. My legs went as we climbed into the stands. Hallen got Gabriel again. Yeah, he did, man. He did. Odegaard had a great game. Odegaard had a great game. And those two play well together, really well. What you would give for a striker like Haaland at Arsenal. Only thing England has is soccer. Oh, okay, yeah. We'll forget everything else we have. Typical American thing. Oh, my rocking chair, I'm going to talk a load of shit. Shut up, mate. Shut your mouth. Only thing England has is what do you have? What culture do you have? What culture do you have? Oh, you got American football. Well done. Baseball. You can't even win baseball globally. Shut your mouth. Shut your gob, mate. All that great food you have that you haven't made, or you know, sports that you didn't invent, or anything else you want to say? Is there anything else you've got? Just wondering. Yeah, I'll just drink my tea. Well. What do I think about Morocco? I think Morocco will give France a very good game. Wouldn't be surprised if they win. Our best food is Indian. No, that's our dish. But what's your best food, JD? Hamburgers came from Hamburg, Germany. What else? I'll tell you now, the food in America is shit. And going to Mexico just proves that. It just reminded me what good food is. Food in America is terrible. And I live it. It's terrible. It's terrible. The food here is terrible. It's so bad. It's unbelievable. French fries from France. Yes. Fantastic. Let's try and find something else. English food is not bad, mate. English food's not bad. I've lived there. It's 100 million times better than American food. Like, it's not even close. It is not even close. I wish food in America was as good because I'd enjoy it a lot more. All right, this thing continues to bleed. I'm still waiting for a bull trap here to get involved, and we're starting to expand IB. Let me just think about this for a second. Let's stop the banter for a minute. We've all had a bit of fun. Let's just focus in here. All right, measured move today will take us into the 2830s, 28,800, sorry. Let me just have a look at this on a daily. See if that's actually viable. 28,800, which would be the initial balance move. It's viable. It is viable. This move here is viable, which would be a big bleed. What percent would that be from open? I mean, I want to say it's unlikely, but then I just think about these days and these days. And I'm like, well, maybe this week, though. Maybe this week. Hard to want to get involved now. I think we need a squeeze out here. All right. I think we need something like this before we think about doing anything. This is what we need. We need to come and retest in here for short sellers to come back in. I'm not going to, I don't care. If they just walk it down, I'm going to make peace with it. That's what I need. I need this trade here to get short. And I can't take that trade there unless we really reclaim. Getting long down is too risky as well. So no longs, no shorts for me until we come into this node. This is what it's going to be about for me. Food in the, Brandon, have you ever been to the UK, or have you ever left the UK? Because I can tell you now, like, you're wrong. It's not the best in the world. I would say Thai food is the best in the world, and then probably Italian food, right? And Mexican food and Spanish food. But I would tell you now, I genuinely think American food is the worst food in the world. It's terrible. That's my personal thought. It's absolutely terrible. It's like eating plastic. Just buy some cheese. That says it all. That's all you need to go. All you need to say. All right. Well, you can think I'm tripping, but that's my opinion, mate. You're just going on bullshit though, like beyond Bill. Like, oh yeah, like English are known for bad teeth, and English are known, like, you're going on bullshit. Like, you're not going. Like, do you have a passport? I'm just interested. Like, are you one of the people who's never left your state saying that, or you know, are you actually talking about experience? Because like, I'm quite well traveled. Funnily enough, there's not many countries in the world that I haven't been to. Moroccan food's incredible. I absolutely agree. Moroccan food is unbelievable. Was it called a good tagine, right? Beautiful. Tagine, there you go. Well, how many Americans would have known that? I reckon not a lot. I reckon not a lot. And that's not me being an asshole, but like, your food ain't the best in the world, guys. It's not even close. Turkish food, again, amazing. Lebanese food, and mahaya, beautiful dish. Like, it's just whether you've tried it all. All right, here comes the squeeze. Anyway, let's get off the food subject. I've got to focus in on this now to see if something sets up. Let's see if we can come up here. There's definitely seller exhaustion taking place around these lows, folks. So I think a retest of 350s is highly probable in the near future. There's definite seller exhaustion around the lows, especially if ES starts to reclaim previous day low and initial balance here. And I would say if IGV starts to reclaim PDC. So I'm thinking there's a counter trend long, probably setting up towards 350 coming shortly. So I'd say if they start to absorb, much selling at the lows. There was a little bit of selling down at 214s. I'd say if we hold 230-ish, there might be the start of a counter trend long setting up. It wouldn't have made a higher high yet, but if they start bidding IB down to 230, then I think the move to 350 is going to start setting up. So I'm interested in, hello, can we draw it? I'm interested in this here, all right? That's what I'm interested in. And then after this, I'm interested in a bull trap here. That's the main move I'm interested in. This is not going to be a sized move, but this move here, I'm interested in sizing in. All right, so this move here first, we're starting to see it start to develop here. So I'd say all dips versus 350 now probably get bid up. Here we go. So here's the move towards 300. If you are taking this long, you want to watch 300, 330, 350 for your TPs. And we'll see if we can get through this node and come and retest this. And then I'm interested in shorts up here. There is a bid starting to develop at 55. I think the squeeze is on here, folks, for a counter trend. Here comes the bid. ES through PDC, sorry, PDL. Guys, sorry, I'm really sorry. I'm going to ignore chat for a bit. It's not that I'm being rude, but I want to focus in on this to see if I can get involved. So I missed a big chunk of that short. So I don't really care about food that much, guys. It's just a bit of fun. But this I do care about. Making money, I care about. So let's see if we can grab some. It's just a bit of banter, guys. Just relax, relax. I know you lot are sensitive. I forgot how sensitive you are until I went to the game and I was like fucking getting abused by my mates. I was like, oh, I forgot how nice this feels. All right, it's holding IB here. So I'm watching to see if dips hold versus sort of 50 to 30 here to get involved, if these sellers get absorbed or not. It's 50, and it's the first sign of it. Can we come a bit lower and show me, or is that it? Can you resell down to 30s and then hold a dip? Now, if they just continue to trend this down, like I said, what do we say? It was 890s. This is available if they're just going to keep bleeding. But I want to see if we can hold sort of 50s to 30s here. I'm not in yet. I'm waiting to see. Here comes the bid starting to develop here. All right, let's see if we can hold. All right, I'm in small size here for this counter trend long. I'm getting smaller size than any short because it's counter trend, hardest trade in the book. I'm going to give it a little bit of space. Here we go. Come on. Beautiful. So remember the targets are 300, 330, 350. Those are the first targets. And just shy of 300 there. It's a bit annoying. Want to be careful here. If we break 60s here, we're going to break down to 30s pretty quick. So just be aware of that. Nice and light and flexible with your size here. We're counter trend. I'm just looking for a bit of relief here if possible. And then I want to flip short. If this fails, all right, then we just cut it. If we can't hold, really, I've got to respect 50s here. I was going to say 30s. If we can't respect 50s here, I cut it. Just because of that node. Well, we look good so far. ES holding well. We look good here, folks. Come on, here we go. So we're looking for 300, 330, 350 on the relief. All right, and if we got really lucky, we'd get all the way up to 440s. Here we go, folks. So into TP1 here, peeling a little bit off in front of 300. There's 300. So we'll now see if we can get 330s to 350s for the next TP, folks. And then we want to think about flipping short between 350 and let's just call it 450. 350 to 450. Yeah, please. Thank you. All right, 300s here. Make sure you paid yourself a bit here. There you go. That's why. And we want 50s to stay bid. Now, if they lose 50s, there is a shelf developed there. So we want 50s to stay strong bid here. And we cut under 50s. Or we can just cut at 50s. 55s looks like the key level, to be honest. I'll pay myself a bit in front of 300 and try and see if we can get up to 350. IB to VWAP. Yeah, it would be similar kind of trade. All right, it's the same idea, right? We're looking for this relief into here, and then we're looking to sell that back down probably. Now, this is the counter trend trade. This is the hardest trade in the book. Think about what's happening now on the daily and hourly. So we just got to be aware of this. All right, we are starting to break down out of this wedge. So we're looking for this counter trend here. Thank you. And then either today or tomorrow, if we reject that, we can look for this into here. All right. All right, looking good here, folks. You might not agree with me on my thoughts on sport and food. You might get offended if you're sensitive and can't have a bit of banter. But hopefully you agree with me on how I'm looking at the market, because it's getting you paid right now. All right, looking good, looking good. So we'll remember at 30s to 50s, we want to lock some in. So 300, you should have locked some in. We want 300 to continue to be bid here. And then we're looking for 30s to 50s. Above 50s, all right, above 350s, there is potentially a squeeze up towards 450, right? Between 350 and 450, we want to think about potentially getting short again somewhere in there. Really good. So like everything again lining up as well, by the way, folks. So like this held a really good put wall. Look at that bid. There's a put wall down here. 150. All right, there's the bid. All right, so this now needs to do this for us if we're going to hit all our targets. IGV also finding a bit of a bid. All right, so turning around, same kind of thing. Between here and here, you'd expect some kind of failure. So we're sort of bidding up in alignment with this. And mags as well. Wherever you are, there you are. All right, weak. All right, so this one weak. So we got two of them, not the third one. Two of the three. Remember, I'm expecting lower prices. I'm just looking for that counter trend relief at the moment. Here we go. Come on, complete this, please. Lots of liquidity, 30 to 50. That's where we're going to lock in most of our money. All right. All right, guys, let's move on from the food stuff. It's okay, guys. It's okay. You don't have to agree on everything. You don't have to agree on everything. That's life. That's the beauty of being human, right? You have opinions. It's allowed. Just because your opinion isn't the same as mine or not the same as someone else doesn't mean you're right or I'm right. It's just how it is, right? Give space for people to have their thoughts. All right, here we go. 30s to 50s. My wife like that. Here we go, folks. We're almost there. We're almost there. So this is the relief. It's a nice relief. It's going to be like an 80, 90 point trade. If we get all the way up here, it'd be massive. Lots of sellers here stacking from 25 up to 50 right now. I'd love to just come and fill it and then I'll be done and we can wait. Here they come. They're coming for these sellers. Lots of refresh sellers up here. Just want to fill them. Once we fill them, we'll be good. If you want to front run them, of course you can. If you want to move your stop up, move your stop up. All right, refresh seller coming in here at 300. We've got to get back through him. Otherwise, we're going to wash down towards 260s pretty quick. He's just come on the book here. He's upset that he didn't get filled up at 315. So he was at 325, 315. Now he's trying to get filled at 300. And he's not been filled again. So he's probably going to walk down again here. So just be careful. We've got to get back through these 300s here for that squeeze up towards 350. He's right here trying to get filled. Right, back through him now. Now, can we hold this bid and get back up to 350? Would be nice. Remember, counter trend long is the hardest trade in the book, guys. We don't want to overstay our welcome. Be nice if we get a little bit more. Come on, get back above these 300s for me. Here we go. Come on, come and fill out. We want 30s to 50s to be filled here. Come on, baby. Here we go. Come on, just fill them. They're there. They're there. They're begging to be filled. Go, 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 go. Come on. Come on, NQ. You're almost there. I think we fill them. I think it's coming. Here we go, folks. Here's 20s. Come on, just an extra 10 points or so. An extra more 5 on here, please. Can we fill me a little bit at 30s? You're just going to tease me. We have a low volume node here, so we want to be careful. I'm trying to get the top side of this node. Trying to get up here. I might have to fill some at 20s here if I can't get it. I feel like we should lift based at what I'm seeing on the tape, but if we can't break through 20s next attempt, I might take a little piece off, expecting then the failed follow through if we can't get it. Here we go, 20s, come on. Can we get a bit higher and just fill these lot? Get through this node, come on, baby. Right, I peeled a little bit off there. Don't want to be a dick. I've still got a bit left for 50s, but just been slightly cautious at this low volume node here. Remember, 30s to 50s is the target, and then over 50s, maybe all the way up to 450, 430 if we get lucky. Glad I paid myself for that node now. All right, so I want buyers to protect 280 here. I want to see this protected. We think about this structurally. All right. All right, I need to see this kind of zone protected to complete this move if we got very lucky. If they lose this zone, all right, then we can continue down again. It's not ideal. I don't really want to short down here either. I want to short up here. Oh, God. Don't do that. Lost the whole thing. There we go. All right, so we're looking ideally, yeah, I'd say 275 to stay bid side. We don't really want to lose 275 here. But we're in the money either way, right? So you've paid yourself either way. Brother, weekly low is taken, then it would go bullish. If please explain. Says who? Who said it would go bullish? We're in count. It's just counter trend relief. All right. We washed weekly low. All right. I'm just hoping. I don't know if it happens. I'm hoping for this to then resell it. It's not that I'm uber bullish all the way back upside. It's that I'm feeling like this has been walked down. Right. This is 1, 2, 3 attempts to move lower. Failed to move lower. Hopefully we fail to move lower again, and we come back up. And then we can move lower once we built liquidity here. Afterwards, it's not about the weekly low. You know, the weekly low is just a pivot to decide whether we're going inside or outside the weekly. So if we think about the current week, where did the current week open? I wasn't here for it. Here, okay. So as your current week open, at the moment, we have like a bar that looks like this. And then today is like this, and how today closes will matter. Maybe we have a wick and we close back up here. Maybe we don't. Maybe we puke down here, and then the weekly bar looks like this, and it will be outside from here. And tomorrow we can trade up and then push pressure. Or maybe today we hold here, we come up, and then tomorrow we look for downside. I don't know. It all depends on how we close today when we look at that weekly. But all I know is the low-hanging fruit's taken. I need us to build out liquidity and come higher before I'm willing to short. I don't want to short down here right now. Think about rejected previous day low, rejected previous week value. There was the short. There was the other short we took. So short for this move. All right, maybe this was one. I can't remember now. Right now we have to wait. We want this to then resell that, because this probably needs to be filled in, right, to make a decision. Now, if they don't do that and they drift lower, so be it. I'm not going to get short down here. It's too risky. The profile, the risk profile is not in my favor for that. But if we can see counter trend relief, then it's good. All right, ES holding IB, so ducked under, reclaimed it. Same on previous day low. It's at the same. Is that previous day or previous week? I'm going to assume it's previous week. Previous day, so it's Sunday's low. Okay. Software coming back up for PDC here for the second time. So it's going to retest PDC. We look good here. It looks good. So I'm still looking for 30s to 50s. That move down here just held right into this like shelf we just talked about. We have to protect this guy here, 75-ish. Looks good. And hopefully we can keep printing higher here now. Lots of sellers here, 30s to 50s. So I'm looking to get rid of some of my inventory here, 30s to 50s, folks. Here we go. Come on, just get through him. Just complete it. I'm fairly confident we're going to go 32 to 50 here. Low volume node rejecting again at 20s. I'm just trying to leave this to go to work. I want to try and hold a piece in case we break 350 to 450. I want to try and hold a small piece. Just in case they get this move here. I want to try and hold a little piece for this, just in case. But most of it will come off 30s to 50s because it's counter trend. That's the highly probable place. Why? Because where the sellers came in earlier. So my expectation is that these guys probably sell again. But in case they don't, I'm going to try and hold a little one just for this guy here. All right, come on, please. 30s to 50s, please. Come on, market. Fuck me, you're so close to filling me. 28 and a halves. Tick away. Tick away. Tick away from filling me, you bastard. Oh my God, look at that. Right back down. I'm going to probably come to test 280 now. This node is important. It's defending it well, these sellers. Don't like the shape of this. If we can't make a new high here, I'll be done with it. We got to go and fill these guys on the book above. If they can't make a new high here, I do not like it the way they've just built out liquidity there. Come on. It's important now. Get through this low volume node. Otherwise, I'm done. IGV to VWAP. All right, I've trimmed some more there now. And I'm going to move my stop up as well. SOXL looks good. Yeah, it's trying to put in higher lows on a 5-minute. The problem is software. It's right at VWAP. It's through PDC, so it's gone back red to green, which is good. So we'd like it to bid through VWAP and hold PDC. And that will be strength. MAG 0.09% down. Yeah, I don't like that. This, what I'm looking at here is what I'm not liking. All right, this here, these buyers keep getting absorbed up this top side. You can see we're starting to roll. All right, we need to come and fill all these guys up here. This is what I don't like. Is this the amount of buyers getting caught up here at the moment when I just want to fill this and then be out? We were starting to see absorption down here, but this has failed follow through. They should have broken. This is getting very tight. We should have already completed this move up, which is why I'm like slightly concerned at the moment on the tape. Let me just check the size of the lot at 350 outstanding. Yeah, look at that seller. Did you see that on the tape? At 350, it's 1,000. can get you there. This is what I want to be careful of as we come up here. All right, here's 30s. I'm going to hold for 50s now. Delta is 1,000 lot sell side at 50s. Hopefully you can see this on the tape where I'm scrolling up. This guy here, 50s, massive, absolutely massive level for this market now. Over 50s, you're going to have 1,000 lot seller not be very happy. Just let that sink in. Oh, I know Matt Cause. No, I don't know many. I don't know who he is if he's a trader. I don't know many traders really. So we complete 30 moves. Just be careful now. All right, so we're testing this 1,000 lot from earlier. All right, 50s is not his actual level. All right, like bang on the nose, 50. That's his level. All right, if we start bidding and holding above 50, he's going to get a little bit uncomfortable. And then, you know, I'd start thinking that maybe we fill some of this in towards 400 and 430. If we can hold a bid over 50, it's why I wanted to try and hold a little piece. Remember, think about the structure. All right, we're starting a bid and hold now, aren't we? This now becomes important. Sellers will want to defend it. Buyers would love that move there. I'd love that move there because that's a better sell opportunity. But I know the importance of these sellers here is very, very important. The main trend is lower. I'm going to remind you that. We are in a counter trend long, right? Hopefully get more relief, and then we're going to sell against it. Can you short now? I think you're a little bit early. You're a little bit early at the moment. We haven't. What I want to see for a short is like, see this move here? Do you remember when I said we'd take the 50s? Was it this one? I can't remember where it was, but you want to see an acceleration and buyers get caught and not find acceptance higher, which means we've got a big whale on the tape absorbing it, and then we can get short for the sell. But remember today, if we're going to sell anymore, we've hit the low-hanging fruits, right? We hit previous week low. We've even hit this block down here. We've hit some pretty big low-hanging fruits today. Again, when we think about what we were looking at this morning, right, we've completed these moves. Right, think about this. This blue box, right? We've done the 300. We're into this next area which we bid out of 3 times, right? The easy low-hanging fruit, chop, fail the chop, extend down, right? We've done that, right? So now we're going to just see if retests fail, but your sizing now needs to be a little bit more careful. We've done the main move, all right? You've been given, probably today you got Jack Jack, Queen Queen, King King, right? We're probably not going to get an Ace Ace now. We've had it, right? So what we're looking at now is like, oh, okay, can we get a 10 Jack and then wait and see what the flop looks like? That's what we're doing at the moment. We're probably waiting to see. So here we go, 350 test here. It's coming up, folks. Now, if we squeeze through that, 400 is possible, and we try and hold a runner for that. But you're coming into like your big level. You want to have paid yourself. Most of your counter trend long needs to be coming off here, folks. All right. You want to be paying yourself here. See money, take money, because where we want to be sized is the short, not really on the long. Still some sellers up there. Should we jump on a long for the squeeze if we had no position already? No. Why would you get long where we think this is going to fail? Yeah, if you read up, who's just said that, the anchored volume profile, if you read up, it does tell you what I have it set to. 2 ticks anchored to 930, right? I have set to 2 ticks because I pay for tick data, right here. 2 ticks. If you don't have 2 ticks, leave it. If you don't have tick data, have it on number of rows and set it to 1,000. That will probably get you the closest. Right, here we go, folks. This is the 50 test. And let's see. If we get lucky and we find acceptance, we're going to go 400, 430 if we get lucky. But this is the big test. So we're up about 100 points here, folks, on this counter trend long. Just let that sink in. It's a good long. Make sure you've paid yourself. IGV getting stuck at VWAP. So we might see some failures coming soon. I want to see if SOXL gets going up towards 160 here, and I think that's probably more likely if we're going to fail on semiconductors. It's more likely to be there. What size is sell order at 400? He's only a 58 lot. It's more about these 350s for me. Can we chew through the delta and get back above it? I mean, it's still 1,000 lot, so we're over that 1,000 lot now. Now, if we hold 350s now, if I was that seller, I'd start to get concerned, and that's what's going to matter here. Now, if he gets concerned and we see a swipe up 400 to 440, that's when I'm going to be interested in the short. All right, so if we see this overextend here, all right, and big buy orders get up here, then I'm going to look for this short down here. That's what I'm going to be focused on. No, I think you're misunderstanding. It's not 1,000 lot filled, mate. It's 1,000 lot delta. It's already been filled. It's this guy, right? It's this guy. It's whether they're going to defend this or they get relief above them and then come back in. It's what's already happened. That's why we marked this out. And clearly, they're not too keen on price coming above 350 right now. ES right back down to IB here. This might be it, folks. It might be done. So I'm out. I'm out if we fail 340 here. 320 to 340 here. I'm going to be done with the long, and then I'm going to lean short if it sets up. I would have liked this a bit higher for the short. I think we're going to come right down to 90s and below here. My runner might be gone here on the stop. I'm going to move them up to just under 300 on the runner. I don't care. I'm at 97.75 at the moment. I want to flip short on this, ideally. There was delta divergence. So if any drive into 340 it fails, I'm interested in selling. Do you know what? I'm going to cut my long here just so I'm focused on the short now. All right, I'm out of the long. It just makes it easier for me to focus on the short here. So any drive into here which fails, I'm interested in selling. Ideally up here, but I'm done with this long now. We got maximum 100 points, so I stopped out here on the rest. But this got slammed. Big delta divergence up there. I want to get short. You got to come higher. I might have missed it otherwise. No, I'm not looking to short near 300. Like I said, 340s ideally. Otherwise, we're going to have to consider it if we start breaking down. But up towards 340s or even 400 and 440s. There's a big rejection of this guy here, right? Look at that. Not great excess, but there's a clear rejection. There is delta divergence at the high, right? And we sold back down. That's telling me that there's a big whale here, right? There's a passive seller saying, yeah, you're not coming above me right now. So if we pop up here and fail, I'm looking for this move. Right? If we don't fail up here, right? If we pop up here and reclaim, there's no short, and then I'm going to expect the short in here, which is where I'd prefer it. At the moment, we can't even pop up. How do I spot delta divergence? Well, I'm reading the CVD at the bottom of my 5-minute bar, and if you have Spectra, it will tell you anyway. On a 5-minute. Positive delta, got slammed. Delta divergence. It's telling you. It's telling you. That's on Spectra Pro. Oh God, are you gonna let me in this for this short? Are you gonna let me in this at all? So when we now have, I should pop this on as well. Use these guys. Can we do that? Right. We have some buyers come in here at the highs, which is what we just talked about, right? I would have preferred it up here, but buyers at the highs getting caught. You can see it right here. Buyers at the highs, 42s getting caught. That's why we want to lean on them. So we can come up here and that fails, we can try and get another play. If they stay in the money, they reclaim, then there's no play. Just thought I'd better ask some new codes for you lot. All right. Sorry, folks. Not working here. I've got my mates at home all panicking, messaging me about their portfolios. All right, let's see if we can come back up to these 340s and make a decision what we're going to do here. So it's previous week low held there again. So far what it's showing is sell exhaustion outside of previous week low. We're going to come back up to 340s, and I'm waiting to see what we do there. I'm waiting to see if we make a decision up there, whether we're going to bid through 340s and then push for 400, 450s, or whether they're going to resell 340s after those buyers just got a little bit caught. Software finding a bid here. Higher low put in SOXL, but no higher high. I think that still needs to come 160 here on SOXL. 310s here. Waiting to see the 40 test for it to make a decision here. Bid starting to show up here at 300, so they're trying to support the bid for the 340 test, and then that's honestly 340 to 350 is going to be key. Sentiment will be there. I don't mind shorting up here if we start to pop and fail. Here's the 300. This is where the bid just came in, so they're trying to support the bid here for now. So 300 bids being supported for now. We didn't get to 340s. We didn't get up high enough. Come on, NQ, don't make my life hard. I really want to sell this. We've got to come higher for backside of the move. This is looking tetchy in here. I don't really want to be participant in here. I don't mind this. That's a harder play. I don't really want that. This I'm interested in. This I'm really interested in. That's more like an A stat, probably not A plus, but that's an A setup. This down here would be a C setup, I'd say. In here is a no setup. IB failing again? Where? Not. We're above IB currently, mate. We're not failing yet. We're just having to be patient here. You're going to require patience. Why? Because we've done a big move, right? We've done a big move. Right? We don't go straight down. So ideally, that's not the bull trap. It very much looks like the bull trap right now, if I'm honest. Ideally, because Alex is selfish, ideally we get this, not for me to get long, but this just gives me more room to get short, right? It gives me more room to get short for this move. It gives me better RR. But they might not do it. It might be that we just get expansion under here at the moment, but we're about to find out. Ideally not, but we are starting to see this fail in front of 540. Those buyers are trapped. We're starting to see this fail, this node here at the moment. It's really not ideal for the short, but it's looking like it's coming. There's bids here at 250 now, so they couldn't hold 300. So if they pop back to 300 and fail it, they're going to try and fill 250s now. Watch Egypt and Argentina. Yeah, we'll watch that. I hope Egypt do them, honestly. Patient. All right, software back at VWAP again. Semi still haven't tested 160, haven't broken 150 yet, so just stuck building out this. Think we might go to sleep for through lunch. Honestly, it's possible. It's possible that the next leg comes this afternoon. It's possible that they hold it up for tomorrow. I'm fine with either of those. We've had some nice plays this morning. Thanks, Alex. I secured my first ever payout with your counter trend move. I'm thinking that I'm going to buy soon your Spectre Pro. Is it only on NinjaTrader? Yeah, only on NinjaTrader, mate. Only on NinjaTrader. But congratulations on your first payout, by the way. Do you trade your out of town on trips, or do you stay? Oh no, mate. If I'm not at my desk, I ain't trading. I'm certainly not trading when I'm, 10 beers, 5 cocktails in with the boys at football. I like how to lose all your fucking money.com. That's how to do it, right? That's a degenerate gambler. That's not trading. Fucking hell, I paid fucking $3,000 for these tickets and see if I can make it back. Oh, I'm down 30. That's how that would work, right? Like, we don't do that. All right. We don't. Oh, I had a couple of Stellas. Let's get on the fucking charts, boys. No. What we do is we leave everything alone. we do not do that. Is that my domain? Yeah. Yeah. This is a job, right? You don't go on a fucking piss with the boys and be like, oh no, I'll do a phone my boss up. Oi, you cheeky little fucking so-and-so. Like, you get fired, right? You get hurt. We don't do that, right? This is a job. We take it seriously. Also, it's good to have a break away from it and get back into reality. For me, the American culture and English culture is very different. I'd say, especially on the West Coast. People here maybe a little bit sensitive, right? If I called my friends here, what I was calling some of my friends that I was away with and what they were calling me, I think there'd be a few tears. Honestly. All right, here we go. Here we go. It's the drive towards the 40s. Let's see if they're going to sell this or not. Didn't quite feel this imbalance up at the 27s. Yeah. That looks like a bit of a failed attempt there. Buyers caught there at 20s. We've got to come higher for me to be interested. I'm not interested in selling around here while it chops around. Brother, you didn't gift me glasses. What do you mean? Still just chopping it. Nothing to do it. Got to wait. It's developing this node. I'm going to get rid of this now that we've traded through it. Let's pull this up a bit and just check these hourlies. And in fact, I should probably do this. Right, so that's based off the hourly. I'm just watching this. All right, if we can't find acceptance through this, this is the dance. Find acceptance through this to here, maybe even here tomorrow or something. But that's definitely key at the moment. It's an hourly pivot. Reclaim that. Probably bullish back up for a bit. Becomes important. Becomes important for sure. And I'm going to have to change Ninja so it agrees. So folks, give me a second here. Yeah, they're rejecting that hourly pivot now. It's hard here because we've lost the prime location for the sell. These glasses, they're from Hugo Boss. Well, the frame is. The lens is a proper lens. Again, they're not sunglasses. Lots of you think they are. You can see straight through them. Right? They reflect the light, but they're really important for me because I'm blind as a bat. I'm so blind, it's terrible. It was happening on the trip. All the boys are, oh, look at that bird over there. Oh my God. You're like staring at a man. Oh yeah, he looks lovely. He does. He looks lovely. All right. LASIK, yeah, I want LASIK, but this eye here, I don't think I'll get approved for it. Both my eyes have stigmatism. So stigmatism is when the shape of your eyeball changes, and the stigmatism in my left eye is really bad. It's really quite bad. Are you looking to enter shorts when price goes back to the previous high? It's more about what happens, all right, in here. If these buyers get caught again, if we see follow through, right? If I see buyers get caught, then I'd consider it. I would much rather be short somewhere up here and then cover some into this. Then like our range here is getting tighter. It's going to get much harder to get good RR. So I'm becoming less and less interested in it as this develops. But hopefully, if we can move higher, it might set up another play. Stigmatism still, yeah, that's it. Because they can't change the shape of your eyeball. And if for some reason my left eye, I think it's genetic. My mum has the same. And my left eye is pretty bad. My right eye is not as bad. My left eye is. So they could probably get rid of the short-sightedness, but the stigmatism would still be there. Even this light today is pissing me off. Thoughts on Portugal? I mean, Mikel Mourinho. What can you say? What can you say? He's done the same for Arsenal for the last 2 years. You stick him on. He's not even a striker, and he just does the fucking job. Spain are a good team, man. Like, I didn't think Portugal would win that. Sorry for Ronnie. I mean, he's fine, mate. He's had a great career. He's all right. You done with the short? I've not even been in it, mate, for the short. I was long. I'm done with the long. Right, I'm done with the long. I'm waiting for the short. I missed this because the way they did this was kind of nasty. I'm interested if they sell this, but I'm more interested if they sell this up here. Like this somewhere up here would be nice. Let me check the order flow up there as well. What would that be? 400. There's a little imbalance up there at 400. There was a big seller this morning at 400. So that would be really nice if we could get up there. Yeah, I haven't been in short since these moves, mate. Oh yeah, I felt sorry for Cape Verde. They deserved it. They deserved it. I haven't seen Dustin Poirier video, no. Holland was on point. Yeah, guy's a beast. I hate him because he plays for City, but he is an absolute beast. But one guy will not win you the World Cup, right? So he's going to need Odegaard to keep playing well, to keep feeding him, and they're going to need their defense to do well, right? So I see some people who don't watch soccer be like, it's over. They're going to win the World Cup. One guy cannot win you the World Cup. Otherwise, all right, why didn't Brazil win? Right? Because Vinny's a hell of a player, right? Neymar's supposed to be a hell of a player. Gabriel's supposed to be a hell of a player. You've all got to turn up, right? You all have to play well. You can't rely on one player, especially if it's a striker. All right, it might score you goals, but if you got weak and not holding the ball up well, and if your back four shit, then you're going to lose. All right, we're talking about elite level. We ain't talking about shitty MLS here. We're talking about the best teams in the world, the best players in the world. Like, you have to be able to perform on the big stage. He's without a doubt a beast, but the best team in this World Cup so far as a team is France. It's not even close. France and Morocco, I would say, Morocco played well as a team. France just look outstanding, and they are turning up together. I do think Morocco got a chance. I think the fact that they speak French, I think they'll get under the French skin. Like, I think they've got a solid chance. I think they're a good team. They play well together, but it's always sport, man. It's sport. Anything can happen. Anything can happen in sport. Am I still waiting for 340? I'm still waiting to see what happens at 340. Yeah, but I'm neutral. Like I said, I'd actually much prefer it much higher at this point. But I'm watching, but I'm becoming less and less interested because think about the timing now. We're 25 minutes from lunch. We've gone sideways here a long time. This is a bit different from here. All right. We failed too hard to get in. All right, but now look. Now we've built this out. Right. So that 340 short, what we're going to do, we're going to, like, if we take 340 short, we're going to have to cover some after 20 points. It's not ideal, guys. The structure's shifted from this. Remember, when we were here, we were hoping that this would do this, and then it would give us room. We don't have that as much now. I'm not saying they can't move lower, but like it's a harder trade now based on what they've built out, right? They're showing you. We're finding acceptance of price here at the moment. Buyers and sellers agree that this is value, right? That's why we're going sideways here. If they suddenly agree that this is too expensive, then you'll get this move. If they agree it's too cheap, then we get this move. And then I think this is the main move I'd like to have, right? It's this. I'd love that move today. It might not come. It might be tomorrow. France is the best at flopping. Don't know, mate. They've won quite a few World Cups. I mean, who are you comparing that to? Where are these comments from? They haven't flopped so far. Should I scalp the range? Well, if you're a range trader and it's what you like, then yeah. It's not what I like. Highlights. I've been getting caught a lot at the market open, getting stopped out by 1 or 2 ticks before running to full TP. How do you manage your stop loss to account for high volatility? Well, you need to do exactly what you said. You need to give it more range, or just not trade the open in the highly volatile part. Do I set alerts and walk away? Yes, I do. I do that a lot. Italy to win. Yeah, good luck with that. They're not in it. Who do you think will win England-Norway? I think England will win that. I think it'll be tight. But I think if you look at the team on paper, we have a much better team than they do. If you look at all 11 players, you know, they've got 2 outstanding players, Odegaard and Haaland. Right? So Rice will know Odegaard very, very well. In fact, Rice has been starting ahead of him. And Johnny Stones, I expect, will play in this game because he will know Haaland very, very well from years and years at City together. So, you know, it'd be very interesting. Lots of club mates against club mates. I think it would make a great game. There'd be some good banter in this game, I reckon. Thoughts on USA advancing? What do you mean? They're out. They're gone, mate. Brazil was saying, but I didn't think Brazil looked that good this tournament. I thought they looked pretty shit. They looked very weak at the back most of the tournament. They looked pretty unorganised. I didn't think they looked that good this tournament. All right, it's starting to fail under here again at 270s. Big sellers piling in now, so we never got up to that 340 we wanted to test. So we can watch here at 273 to 290 if they are going to fail. It's really not ideal. ES looks weak here. Where are semis? They're still holding on semis. IGV still holding on. I don't like the short down here. It's way too no. The reason I'm saying no, it can do it, but I don't like what I'm seeing. So semis, all right, are holding on, protecting initial balance low. IGV is looking pretty good here, reclaiming. Magland is still inside range, so I don't really want to get short low of day. Doesn't really make much sense to me to look for that continuation unless we see weakness come back in the other sectors. So I think it's probably more likely to reclaim here than anything else. So for me, I'm going to ignore the short setup at lower day. Doesn't work for me, especially into lunch. Ancelotti was in. I'll tell you the other thing. The team and manager in England, they look together. I cannot remember seeing an England team laugh and joke and pull the manager into huddles and hug each other. And like, I don't know if anyone saw the Johnny Stones thing with the shoulder in the changing room and Declan Rice. Brilliant. If you saw them on the pitch together at the end of the game, brilliant. Like the passion is there. It's there. I don't remember seeing that in an England team. Genuinely, it looks like watching a club team that have been together for a long time, and I think that's good. He was so scared, especially after what happened to fucking Henderson. That was horrific. We saw that live. They didn't let the TV channel see it. We all saw it. We were right in front of it. It was bad, man. Completely busted his arm up. Yeah, Jude was awesome, man. He came over after he won man of the match. He came over at the end as we sung Hey Jude. It was special player, man. Special player. Special person. I think just like a good representation of the sport, you know, talking to the Mexican media in Spanish, and like he made sure he went and hugged and congratulated and consoled every player from the other team before he celebrated. Massive respect. Like, you remember, he's like 22 or 23 or something. Like, The way he handles himself and conducts himself is amazing. I don't know what I was doing in my 20s, right? Acting like an absolute twat. What's the chart on top of your right head? Oh, up here is Bookmap, mate. This is it's a way of reading order flow. It's here, Bookmap. All right, like I said, that's why we don't short down here. The other markets look pretty good at the moment. They don't look like they want to break down. The great American sport of NASCAR. Yeah, I mean, how good at you are driving left? Can they drive right, though? I'm just interested. Do they know how to drive right around a circle? Or can they only drive left? Oh, I got to upset people here who can't have banter. It's all going to get upset in here, isn't it? They can't drive right. What are you talking about? They're the best drivers in the world. Caught one. Caught one. Shake and bake, baby. Ricky Bobby. Oh, you can tell I've been away with the boys for the weekend. Oh, we're ruffling feathers today, folks. We're ruffling feathers today. Ricky Bobby, baby. Oh, you turn right when you leave the pit. Oh, that's all right. All right, here comes the squeeze. All right, so they're holding here. Like I said, it wasn't a short down there because of what we're seeing in the sectors. All right, so software's back through VWAP and is approaching previous day high, and if it reclaims that, it can squeeze up to the New York Open. Semiconductors also breaking out here for the second leg higher after putting in that low of day. So looking good for a squeeze up to 160 on the semiconductors, which is what we thought we would test. This is the interesting area for short now. All right, up here, this low volume node is the area where I'm interested if the market peaks out here. All right, if we peak out, oh, don't do that. If we peak out here, what I'm seeing on the tape is much better for the short. All right, so higher the better here, and then we can look for the sell. All right, remember, we want lots of buyers squeezing this up and then to get their door slammed on their face, just like we saw here. This is like the typical setup of what we want to see. This is much better because we're starting to overextend away. So the higher the better here. 400 to 450 would be ideal. We have just poked through, so it is actually perking my interest. I didn't think we'd do this into lunch, but let's see if we can squeeze up to 400 to 450 for us to get short. Yeah, anywhere up into here would be lovely. What convinces me that the market should be continue to be shorted? Well, it's more about the structural play, and it's not that it should be. It's that if, right? It's an if statement. If we see this move, if buyers get trapped, if the whale comes in and sells this back down, right? Because we've underneath the key levels, right? We've moved value lower, then we can look for at least a retest of this. And if we break down, we can hold some runners, right? But this gives us room to at least get down here. They can bid that up again if they want, right? They are and if all statements, right? If we don't see that, all right? If we see this and a hold, then we come to here. And if we get through that, then maybe they come to here, which would be quite the recovery for the day. But really, I'm waiting to see if we can protect this guy, squeeze this guy out, and let him come back in, right? And then the probability comes down to at least here. So if we can squeeze out, we'll try and get a short down to 300. If we can get to 400, 450, it would be good. Gives us room, doesn't it? If we look at the book above us at the moment, right, see this squeeze? This is what we want. We want another one of these and some passive sellers to just absorb the tape. Remember, we're under VWAP. We're under all key levels, really. The pro trend is lower. But we don't want to short the lower day. So we're looking for a squeeze out to get sell side into. And seen some sellers step in here trying to absorb the tape. I still would like it higher. Trump tweet could take it higher day. Well, let me say something else to that. Trump tweet could take it lower day, right? Anything's possible in a market. Literally, quite literally, anything is possible in a market. Nice. Apex just sent me some codes for you lot. So you know the score by now. Get me to 1,200 likes and we'll do a free Apex giveaway. Looking to see if we can come a little bit higher here. We have an imbalance up towards 400. I'd love to see this market try and squeeze up towards 400 to 450 and then see if they're willing to sell it at that point. Would be most ideal. My stomach is rolling. Mike Oliver. Yeah, I mean, not a huge fan. I don't know. I think the refereeing in this World Cup might be up there with some of the worst I've ever seen, ever. Right, there's a big level here at 350. If we start losing the tape here at 350, they're going to come straight back down. So this is the poke out. Let's see here. If they pop back up and fail 350 here, I might be forced to put something on. Big sellers coming in. So let's see how they act to these 350s here, whether I want to get a starter in or not. IGV holding view up. I think SXL wants 160 first. It got close. I'm very tempted to put a starter on here, folks, but it's 350. Remember, 350 is the level. It's this guy from earlier. Feels like they want to sell against this. I really prefer 400, 450. It gives me room. Gives me room to play against. They're starting to fail. How long we got left here? 10 minutes. Oh, mate. I think I'm going to leave it and try and let it squeeze out higher. I might regret this, but I'm going to try and let this squeeze out higher here. I'm going to try and let them come higher here and give me some bit more room to play with. I think ES wants VWAP. Semi's still looking not bad. All right, so I still think this has got a little bit more room. All right, Semi's still looking good. Think about this. There's a clear pivot here, isn't there? Failed below. Chop, 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 chop. Can print here. VWAP. If they get through VWAP, I think 160, 162. This is the area I think semis want to get to, and then we probably get the short. IGV still holding VWAP at the moment. All right, if that lets go under there, it's looking better. We're getting close. Do they want to do it over lunch? I don't know. It'd be slightly bizarre, but it's possible. Let me see if we can come a little bit higher here. Very good. Oh. Here we go. Come on. Get it up there. Get it up there, son. Come on, son. I'm still in balance at 400. That's all right. A little bit more required here, I think. little bit more required here, I think. Tech starting to roll over. Semis are at 160. All right, so semis now at that 160 level. This is all about acceptance now of semis, I guess. Software rolled over a little bit at previous day high, failed back into view up. Higher the better here for the squeeze. You just got to be patient. We've got to let it squeeze out and find the backside if and when it's ready. Do not force front side against it. You will end up crying. All right, we just wait for this to peter out. And if it does do that in front of 430s, we'll be interested in selling it back down towards these sort of 300s. So anywhere I'd say from sort of 400 to 430, 440 would be great if they peter out. If they squeeze up and fail, it'd be really nice. We can also look for fails under 450. It's less than ideal though. What if it keeps going? Well, if it keeps going, we won't see a backside, will we? Right? So like we're not going to short on the way up. We're going to need it to do something like this. Yeah? So if we don't see that, then we won't be looking for fails, will we? That's why we have an if, but, and maybe. Like if it does this, we do this. But if it does this, it will do this. Or if it does this, we do this instead. We don't do this if it does this, right? Levels are just levels. What happens at those levels is what matters. Where's the short invalidated? That's a good question. I'd say a reclaim of this. I mean, a full reclaim of this, right, will mean we're no longer in a rotation of the day, right? And if they keep, we've now built out liquidity to any short, right? If we do see something like this, we have to respect this now. This is what I'm saying. So I'm waiting for this because this at least gives us 100 points to play with, even if bulls want to step back in here. But what I'm really looking at is can we get a two-leg partial failure, all right? And then we've got prime position for this move if they do the initial balance expansion. So that's why like positioning is going to be key here. Back towards these 350s. Buyers will want to absorb these 350s to keep this seller stuck, remember. Big level. We need to get up here for me to feel really good. It gives me good RR. There is buyer absorption on this like recent push and some delta divergence up here. I would much rather see us 400 and 450 than a failure here. Higher the better right now, folks, honestly. Quite literally, the higher the better. We've got 4 minutes left to lunch, so maybe I'll stay with you a little bit here. I'd much rather this sets up after lunch, though, because we're going to go into low liquidity. How are we doing on the likes, folks? Are we up to 1,200? No, we're nowhere near. We're not even at 1,000. Come on, folks. You see a bigger wave down on BTC, so shorts around here on NQ are my play. Well, okay. I'm not sure why you would use BTC for deciding NQ. I mean, I've been calling BTC to fail for a while. You know, I would read the order flow in front of you, not like trading Apple and, I don't know, watching Hood. I'm not sure why you would do that. It's not even the same asset. Come on, higher we go. 160 definitely the level on SOXL here. See if we can do one more squeeze out here, and then see what sets up into this sort of red block up here. Yeah, this would be good. Somewhere up here would be good, man. Your New York VWAP moves always a bit less than mine. Any reason why that can be? No idea, mate. It's anchored to the New York Open. It's based on volume. I have no idea. Maybe you're following M and Q and not NQ, and the volume on M and Q is different. Could be that. Come on, squeezy squeeze, up you go. Fill everyone up here, and then get some buyers caught, please. Yeah, you're trading M and Q. Well, that'd be why. Right, so M and Q trades different volume to NQ. You want a chart, honestly, you want a chart off NQ, not MNQ. If you're going to read order flow and volume, you want to be looking at the big players. Big players are not trading micros, they're trading minis. Just remember that. And a little peek out there. Come on. This is better. Squeeze, extend, go, rip, higher the better, go, trap the buyers. You got to push away. You got to go, 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 go for me to be interested. Otherwise, I'm not going to be interested. I'm running out of time here. I really want to trade it into lunch. NQ chilling today. Well, just think about where we are on the daily. Outside bar, and look at the previous week and look at those lows where we found a bid off. So it's worth paying note to where we are on a daily. Already, yeah, it's lunch now. I'll give it like 5-10 minutes just in case. Q's coming up for their VWAP, so I'm very interested as Q's get to 710s. Comes QQQ for 710s, 709.60s. Big buyers coming up here at the 400s. This is what we want. A little bit more would be great, but this is starting to perk my interest now of these big buyers coming in up here market side. So anywhere from here to 450, if I see big buying and then a failure to move higher, it's going to start to perk my interest. The squeezier, the better. We don't want slow walk. We want squeezy. 410s, where are we at? We're almost at 710s. Almost there. It's not finished yet. That auction's not finished yet. At least in my mind. Seller here, I still don't think it's finished. I think it needs a bit of more of a swipe. Semis through to 160. Strong. It's a strong move. And software coming up previous day high. That looks a little bit better up there. Still not sure it's convinced it's done yet. Still think it needs more of a swipe. Here it goes. This is better. More. The more, the better. The more, the better. The more of the swipe, the better up here. I want to see buyers get caught at the high, not slow. I don't want slow. I want acceleration. It might go all the way up to value area high, which is 70s at the moment. And then I'll look for the short once I see them perk out. And they're still trying to bid this up. Buyers still coming in now. 20, 25s. They're trying to bid this up towards 50 to 70 at the moment. Still trying to bid. It's not done yet. Seller at the high. Still don't think it's done yet. Just check the 5 minute. All right, big sellers coming in here. There's a bid at 410. They still not filled everyone to 450. I still think it's got more in it. Still consolidating. Still think they want 450 to 470 at the moment. Yes, looks like it wants 24-hour view up at the moment. SPY 48 would be key. Qs are at its key level now, I'd say around the 10s to 11s. Semis look very good here on the turnaround. Right, they've reclaimed 160s. This is, I'd say if they don't, oh, it's interesting here if they go rotation. If they bid semis back up and hold 160s, it's going to be hard to see fails. Software getting stuffed there at previous day high. So view up on software going to become key here. Still don't think the high of the auction of this high is in. Doesn't look good enough for me. I still think it needs more of a swipe up before there's any sell side. Could be wrong, but from the moment at what I'm seeing, that's what it's telling me. Back to answer these 410s. They're still trying to bid 410s at the moment. Someone's absorbing sellers here at 10s. It's not, I don't think the high is in here. That's the thing. I don't think it's in here. I think it's got more. Semi's very strong here, folks. This is the thing about thinking about this short at the moment. I'm like, until this is done, through the 160s, remember 160s was the level. We're into this block. Need this move here, and then we can think about it. Okay, I need to get back to this chart now. Feels close now. It feels close. Where did that last buy come in? Right on the 400. All right, they're protecting 400. Here they go. So we're waiting to see if we peak up. Might do full rotation here. Still no backside. Everything's front side. Yes, looks like it wants 24-hour view up. Software's back through a previous day high, so it's into pre-market open here. And Semi's continuing to bid here and squeeze. That's better. High push there. Fuck, I missed that while I was looking at the side monitor. 450s, that's much better. 50 lot or 60 lot buyer coming in there. So that's a better start of a sign of maybe we're peaking out. There's still lots of liquidity to be filled higher, but that's kind of a better auction up there now. And it's right into that 450 level. So it's starting to perk my interest. Why are they doing this into lunch? So annoying that they can save this for afterwards. All right, there's definitely a buyer call at 450. That's perked my interest. That's the key level. It's starting to make me think about like being interested in this play now if we see backside. Still lots of sellers hanging out above, but we'll see. I need to see like a pull down, start to see aggressive sellers come in. All right, this is starting to perk my interest. Big buyer coming in here at 20s. If we start to pop to fail, I might put a small piece in here. Because we've hit the level now that was interesting. 450s, remember 400 to 450s, that was the thing. What have we just seen up here? Lots of buying at the highs. All right, so if we're going to start to trap these buyers, then we're going to use their pain to move lower. So really, I wouldn't mind 20s failing here. It's still front side, but 20s to fail would be the first indication of like we're starting to get ready. I'm still not in anything, folks. I'm just watching. 20s to 50s, if they fail, that be the first indication. Nice fail on ES from 24-hour forward view up back down to New York view up. Just have a quick look around here. Software still strong. Okay, 20s failed there, just above. I want pops to fail now for me to get in. I've just missed that again looking at my side monitor. For fuck's sake. That's frustrating. Oh, don't, because I was so patient and twice I looked away at side monitor and missed it. You fucking bastard. Missed prime position. I'm calling it perfectly, but every time I look over here to check what's happening, it does the move. But yeah, buyers are now caught 420 to 450. Their last bid support was at 400. So if pops fail 420 to 450, we expect rotation back down, and we'd be looking for covers into sort of 350 to 300. So like I've missed this, unfortunately, to get a starter on. So I'll be looking for this might bid from here, might get this move here. All right. If they reclaim this, then the squeeze is on all the way back up here, right? So I've missed that. If you took 50s and you covered some here, well done. That was a very hard trade to take without watching the tape instantly. And I really need a pee now as well. All right, pops failing 20s. All right, let's see if we can get something on here. That just failed 20s there again. We need to see this breakdown here if I'm going to put some risk on versus 20s. Bids are at 400. They're absorbing 400. 400 to 420 is the tight rotation. 400 to 450 is the full rotation here. So there's the tight rotation back to 20s again. Through the 20s. Okay, then they've got the chance to go to 50s now. And value area high, which is 60s. And maybe even all the way up here. Semis and software are continuing to try and bid here. So there's no backside move yet. But it feels close. Is the best way of me putting it. It feels very close to a backside move. I've got to pee. I have to pee. Sorry, folks. Okay, still holding New York VWAP up. I wonder if they're going to put one more effort in here. Everyone has emailed me. As soon as we get off stream, I will get back to you. Okay, folks. I can see a lot of people emailed me about access to stuff. Lots of sellers here. 45 to 70 trying to get filled for the range rotation. I wonder if they just send it. I'm less interested in the short now that we've held VWAP up. And semis are continuing to try and bid here. And I wonder if they're going to go, if they don't fail here into this little pivot of 64, 65, they're going to bid 170s. And then there's no short, then that'll be a full rotation. Software the same. If it keeps holding the bid over previous day high, we'll see. We'll see. Everything being held here. Squeeze in lunch. Decent recovery. Where is that from the New York open or from high day? Yeah. Yeah. They're going to be cheeky with it, I think. They got more juice here. They let these buyers out. They just let these buyers out. So here's 70. This is top of value. And if they get through this, I wouldn't rule out this then. And if they really turn it on here, if they turn this on there, I wouldn't be surprised to see a New York open at this point, which is quite the recovery. There's certainly no backside in here for now. So this, I'd say from here to here. And if they start bid, the difference is now is sellers have lost conviction of holding this, right? So now the question is it a rotation play, or are they just now going to bid this right the way back up on recovery? And it is possible. It's absolutely possible if the sectors are going to start the bid, which is what we're now seeing, all right? Strong bid over 60s right now, right? They didn't even come back and check it. New York Open coming up here. Software wise, where are we? Non-stop bid since the low of day went in. Look at this grind. All right, are they going to come all the way back up? I don't know, but what I'd say is there's now no control being held by sellers in the lower time frame. That is in the lower time frame, not in the higher time frame. And again, in the daily, we have to think about where we are in the daily. All right, a little crack and a turn back inside. And like I said, if we are going to see follow through, what I wouldn't mind seeing is this tomorrow. And if we were going to see follow through, that on, what would that be? Wednesday, this on Thursday or Friday. If we do this tomorrow and we trade back inside again Thursday and Friday, which there's nothing really we can do. It'd just be a little bit below and fail, and we're going to just get tight back in here again, which is also possible. Where we close today, I think, will matter. That's probably it for me, folks. If we're not setting it up, so I'm probably done with it. Done with it for the day, and see where we close. I'll pop back in Discord this afternoon and see what we get. But there's certainly no short here, and I certainly don't want to be long up here. The only short would be a range rotation now, and you'd need, like I said, they had the chance to do it there. This is the kind of excess you needed, and it got absorbed. So unless you see that, you can't really, there's nothing to play for here. And the more they hold this, right, this you must respect. If you're going to be a seller today, you got to respect this now, right? You have to cover some into there, because if the bid comes back in here, they can have another go at it. All right, so just be smart. I'll pop in Discord shortly. I'm going to take my dog out, and see you all tomorrow morning. Yeah, tomorrow morning we go again. Should be a decent day tomorrow. What have we got news-wise? We go tomorrow. Fed minutes, wholesale inventories, consumer credit. The main move is going to come Thursday. Jobless claims. I think the main move comes Thursday, folks. All right, everyone. Peace and love. Trade safe. Use hard stops. All that good stuff. Did we get to 1,200 likes before I leave? Did we get there? No. No, we didn't get that. Guys, it says it in chat. All right, we moved the likes up. We need to get to 1,200. There were 2,500 of you this morning. Egypt, go. Let's go. Yalla, yalla. Inshallah. Come on, Egypt. Like I said, I reckon they could do them. And I'll see you all in the morning. All right, peace and love, everyone. Use hard stops. Take care. See you soon.